Welcome everybody to an impromptu BDA Boxing podcast. This is Mr. BDA with you, and as always with me, my co-host, King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sensational. Well, listen, guys, let's get this out of the way. If you want to join us, you guys know the drill. Go to Google Hangouts, send us an instant message via the email address that's on the top of your screen, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. That's boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Now, we didn't expect, people wanted us to do a what was it called? Live Second Renaissance podcast, and we were thinking about doing that. Then we got the news that Tyson Fury was going to come back. And since every time we do a podcast in the heavyweight division, we talk about the heavyweight division, people always end up talking about Tyson Fury. So we decided, hey, why not do a podcast now that Fury is coming back, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Give the people what they want. It's not like we do it all the time. So that's the big news. Boxing Killers TV says Gypsy King is back. I don't know if he's the king though. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, and we're going to try to get to the bottom of that. First of all, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Recognize the Matrix, Pavel, Brandon White, and KIWI. Boxing Killers TV. Hamed is in the chat as well. So yeah, Bucho, big news. Tyson Fury has announced that he's going to come back. And like I said before, I've said this before during the podcast, I don't want to talk about Tyson Fury until I see him in the ring. But apparently the guy's in shape. He's talking big. He's talking a big game about how he's going to knock out this guy, knock out that guy. Nobody has the skills nor the chin to stand up to him. He signed a deal with Frank Warren, and he wants to fight on June the 9th. Bucho, what do you make of all this?
Well, I think it's great. I knew that he was going to come back eventually, but my real question is, how good is he still? You know, it's a 2 years. How long has he been out? 2 years and a half, I think.
2.5 years, yeah, something
or 3
like
years. That. No, 2 years, right? 2 years and a half. Anyways, still, and he did a lot of drugs, and he was living a crazy fucking life. So I don't know how his body is gonna be. Is it gonna be the same after taking down all that weight? There's a lot of questions. So yes, he's coming back. We're all excited, but man, I have my doubts, man.
Well, the doubt is how sharp is he going to look. Now, in his position, in his case, he has to absolutely take a tune-up. He absolutely has to take one. He can choose if he wants to just fight anybody that he wants. He can, you know, he's a big name, or used to be a big name. I'm pretty sure in England he's going to probably sell out, or not sell out, come close to selling out, depending on the opponent. And afterwards, if he does take on a tune-up, that's a guy that shouldn't challenge him too much on paper. Then he should come back against a big name or somebody, any top 10 opponent. Because again, he's talking a big game. He's running his mouth. So if he thinks he can do this, and if he thinks he can beat everybody, then why not? And some people in the chat room are saying, well, how about Briggs? Why doesn't he fight Briggs? I mean, come on. Has Shannon Briggs even fought lately? When's the last time he fought? Let me check that out. I don't even know when's the last time.
Briggs? I mean, this guy's on roids. He's just he's a circus. He's not a serious contender or anything. And I know Fury's coming back, but I don't know what Tyson Fury wins beating a guy like Briggs, even in a comeback.
Well, actually, he has to be a tune-up fight just to get the raw stuff. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to take on Briggs. The last time Briggs fought was in May 2016. So he's got an almost as long a layoff as Tyson Fury. And let's not forget the fact that Shannon Briggs is, what, 40-something? So that fight, I think, would have to favor the Tyson Fury. I'm looking at the comments here in several news websites. I'm looking at the comments that people are leaving, because I always want to have my pulse on the boxing beat. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Tyson schools Anthony Joshua. That's what people are thinking. That's what people are saying. I'm not saying this. People in chat rooms all over the country are saying this. They're saying he also outboxes Wilder, but they definitely believe that he can outbox Anthony Joshua. One guy says, unboxing scene says, styles make fights. I think Fury has a style, plus the height and reach to beat Anthony Joshua, and I think he's the only heavyweight in the world who could do it. Another person says, no Chinny fighter will last 12 rounds with a puncher like AJ. I think Fury goes to sleep in the same way against Wilder. Their aggression, coupled with the massive power and their almost equally big size, are Fury's worst nightmare. Now, I do agree that if he takes on either of those guys right now, after such a long layoff, he could get put to sleep. That being said, I don't see Wilder being that aggressive. Wilder he actually prefers to fight on the back foot. And Joshua likes to fight on the inside, but it would be interesting to see if he could land his big stuff.
When Wilder fights a threat, like we saw against Victor Ortiz, this guy's very cautious, man. And especially since he doesn't even know how to set up some combinations or some punches, you know. So he doesn't know how to fucking attack properly, how to get inside. So he doesn't do anything. He just freezes and waits for the other guy to initiate something and do something, and so he can counter.
Exactly. Now he's 29, Bucho. You know, who knows? People are assuming that he's been doing a lot of narcotics and whatnot, but I mean, do you think, what do you expect from Tyson Fury as he comes back?
I expect him to win. I'm pretty sure they're gonna put him against an opponent that's beatable. How he's gonna look in that fight? I mean, let's see who he fights first, right?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some guy we don't fucking know anything about.
And that's a good thing. Put him in against a British guy nobody knows about, other than people in Britain. Yeah. By the way, we got to recognize the Matrix on the line.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
That's right. Don't believe what you hear or see. Recognize. Thank you for being here on the show. As always, we appreciate your time. So we're talking about absolutely, man. Listen, we're talking about the big news. Tyson Fury coming back, or at least announcing a comeback. Because like I said, I won't believe he's back until I see him in the ring. That being said, I'm reading a lot of comments in message boards throughout the internet, and it seems to me like a lot of people are saying Tyson Fury, all he has to do is get that rust off, and he will soundly outbox both Wilder and Joshua. Do you agree with that?
There's a good chance, very good chance he could. We need to see. Obviously, I need to see him fight whoever he's going to fight, right? And if he looks good and he has a good performance, especially if it's a notable name, you know, I'm not saying like one of the best guys out there, but let's say someone in the top 20. And he goes out there, outboxes them, maybe even stops them. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of buzz on Tyson Fury, which I always felt he was gonna get involved in this mix eventually, right? The whole Wilder, AJ, he's gonna be, the third guy, the boogeyman, the sort of the boogeyman, the way Stu says it, says
yeah, the boogeyman.
But he's legit, man. I mean, going off his last performance, obviously against Vladimir Klitschko, I was pretty much impressed. It was sad to see him, disappear for all this time. I think he would have made it the whole heavyweight division a lot interesting. And so yeah, I'm just looking forward to see who he's going to fight next, who he's and how he looks in that ring, and I'll get a better judgment. I don't know if he'll. As of right now, I don't know if he'll definitely beat Wilder and AJ that easy.
Yeah, because let's get down to it. Let's get down to the basic question, the most essential question here. How good is Tyson Fury? Because yes, he outboxed Vladimir Klitschko, and he made Chisora quit in the rematch. But I'm still wondering whether those types of skills are going to be enough to comprehensively outbox either Wilder, Joshua, or even Povetkin. I mean, how good is Tyson Fury, really? That's my basic question.
At this point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, because, listen, I said this in another video. I said Anthony Joshua's performance against Vladimir Klitschko was a little bit of a mirage. Because yes, he stopped him, but if you compare his performance to that of Tyson Fury, it was only really 2 rounds where he went on an offensive crusade, and the rest of the rounds he was very hesitant. He wasn't landing that much, and Klitschko was outboxing him. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, never really landed that many big shots on Vladimir, but he was able to make Vladimir miss more than I think I've seen.
Exactly. People just focus on the result of the Joshua Klitschko fight. They focus on that last round where Klitschko's on the fucking floor, like going down 3 times or something like that, and then getting stopped, and then 90,000 people going fucking nuts. So that's what people remember. They only remember that last fucking scene of the movie.
That's a very good point.
But they forget like everything that you just said. That guy struggled against Klitschko, man. And Tyson Fury just cruised it, man.
Essentially, he
Agree. I think he had less problems against Klitschko, even though Wilder, AJ ended up scoring the stoppage, right, which was pretty controversial anyway. But I agree with Bucho. He had less trouble.
He absolutely did, man. He terrified, what's his name, Klitschko with feints. And by the way, we got Michael on the line.
I'm on the rooftop of my apartment, guys. Exclusive report, that guy.
That's right, Michael's in the house. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, and I'm looking out. Sky is nice, sunny. How are you guys feeling?
Good, good. Are you in a lawn chair? Are you sitting on a lawn chair with a cooler full of beer? Is that what's going on?
I'm actually I was just standing and enjoying that California climate.
Oh, that's right. Smog, police sirens.
Oh, I'm in the suburbs. I don't live in the city, dude. I live like kind of I'm surrounded by some mountains and shit, so I get that ocean Malibu breeze.
Ah, really? That's good. Watch out for those coyotes out there, man. And I'm not talking about the animals. I'm talking about the Mexican coyotes, you know, they're bringing people into the country illegally. Look.
We get a little both.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh, look, we got Cameron at the same time. Everybody's coming in here.
Cameron Gillon.
Hey, wait a minute. That's the old intro. No. We gotta do this all over again.
I'm on clenbuterol and cocaine. The War Machine beat Christy Metcalf dead.
I missed that part at the end. What were you saying in there about War Machine?
He beat Christy Mack half dead.
Half dead. Well, let's not.
He's my new picture on here, man. Like, War Machine's my picture on here right now. I've changed it.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna look up to somebody, I guess it's better than looking up to nobody, right? Might as well look up to somebody that's real or that did
yeah,
something.
man. I'm a big fan of War Machine.
Are you kidding? You must be kidding. I hope you're kidding. Because why would you be a fan of that guy? And by the way, listen, guys, we're talking about Tyson Fury coming back. A lot of people are saying that he's not going to be the same because he's been away for 2.5 years, even though he's 29, and that some people are saying he's probably done a ton of drugs. Here's what they asked him in the press conference. They asked him about it. They said, what have you been up to this past 2 years? This is what he replied.
I jacked off in a tissue.
Now, I gotta tell you something. I thought that was inappropriate. I don't know why he said that. But the point remains, he's 29. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, is this the perfect time for you to come back? Is he gonna have lost something during this little layoff, this little vacation? Are drugs in the equation? What do you guys think?
It's hard to say right now. I wrote on Twitter earlier on. There's a lot of people saying that they thought they were, picking him, saying Tyson Fury's going to come back, he's going to reclaim the titles, he's going to beat Joshua, he's going to beat Wilder. I think people are getting ahead of themselves a bit too much for that. The guy's been out. It's not the fact he's been out for 2.5 years, it's the fact of what lifestyle he was living in that time. You saw the amount of weight he was putting on. He was drinking all the time. He was supposedly doing cocaine. So if he's doing all that, it takes its toll, especially on a guy of his size. He shredded the weight off. I mean, he's still young, but really, I don't even think the first few fights are going to tell us much about where he's at because not until he gets tested. He's not going to face somebody. He's going to face somebody pretty poor in his first fight. Understandable, but I think it's kind of hard to say where Fury's coming back at the right time or not at the minute.
Well, the heavyweight division is getting hot. I think he saw the writing on the wall. The paydays are out there when it comes to a local fight against Joshua, or maybe taking on the winner of Joshua Wilder. I'm curious, let's say he does look good, or like the Tyson Fury of old. Do you guys think he beats? Would you guys favor him over Wilder and Joshua?
I would, yeah.
I'd definitely favour him over Joshua. Yeah.
He's gonna teach Wilder a boxing lesson.
I think Wilder's a different, tougher fight than Joshua for him, believe it or not.
Why would you say that? I'm curious.
Because I think Joshua's very, he's very one-dimensional. But the thing is with Wilder, he's awkward. Like he's not, Joshua's pretty predictable, whereas Wilder is very awkward. He throws his shots from many angles, and he's a lot different offensively, not in a good way, but it's effective what he does, than what any other heavyweight is. He throws these wild shots, looping shots all over the place. He windmills, like people like to call him. It's a difficult style. Even though it looks terrible to watch sometimes, it's difficult to kind of work out. So for me, I feel like Wilder has more of a chance to land a big shot than Joshua has, simply because Joshua's pretty basic in terms of his offensive work.
Mm-hmm.
And Wilder's quicker as well. Wilder's he's a quicker fighter.
Oh, for sure. He definitely. By the way, I'm hearing some.
I agree with that.
I'm hearing some echo coming from somewhere.
I'll mute myself just in case it's me.
All right, yeah, everybody mute their mic to see if it's okay. There we go. At least it's not me. We know that much. But all right, so Cameron is saying, and I'm actually, that's what I've been reading, because in the chat rooms and in the message boards, people are saying Tyson Fury against Joshua. He schools Joshua, but they're not so sure about Deontay Wilder. Michael, recognize? Do you disagree with Cameron? Do you disagree with the message boards? What do you guys think? Anybody? One of you?
I don't really disagree.
Oh,
I don't know who does.
I should ask one person specific instead of asking both at the same time.
No, I was gonna say, I agree with Cameron. Cameron, even though I think it could be a styles thing, right? I would pick AJ going off Fury's last performance. I would pick AJ to, or rather, I would pick Fury from that performance to outbox AJ pretty easy. Even though I think AJ is the better fighter between him and Wilder, I would say Wilder gives him the better fight, even has a good chance of beating Fury. To me, it's a stylistic thing between the three. Yeah, I think AJ is a better fighter than Wilder, and I think Fury's better than both of them. But if I had to say who gives Fury the stylistic problem, would be Wilder.
All right, well there you go. I mean, that's what.
Like, if you said to me, would you rather see Fury versus Joshua or Fury versus Wilder? I'd rather see Fury versus Wilder.
Just for the challenge of it, to see how those styles mix up.
Yeah, exactly that.
Michael, what do you think?
I'm wondering. Well, yeah, I think I kind of agree with you guys, but I'm wondering why he signed with Warren. Like, why Warren?
I've got a bit of a theory about that. Because he signed a multi-fight deal with Warren. Now they're talking about 3 or 4 fights. Fury says he wants to fight 4 times this year. Now Warren's obviously offered him a better deal than Hearn did in terms of what he wants for his first few fights back. Because Hearn was talking about of him coming back and fighting Dylan White or Tony Bellew or something like that. Whereas Fury said he wants to come back and he wants to take his time. So for what I would not be surprised. There's a theory that I can see happening. I can see Fury using this deal with Warren to get back in the mix, see where he's at, get those, fights back, get himself into shape properly in terms of fight shape, get his conditioning right. Then when he's ready to take on, an anti-Joshua, I think he may sign with Eddie Hearn then when he wants to make that fight happen. That's what I think could happen.
That's an interesting.
You guys think he should have signed with someone else? I don't know if anybody thinks he should.
Well, Eddie, Stuart said it on last night. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are the best. Sky Sports are the best at promoting boxing over in the UK by a country mile. They know how to get fighters' names out there. They know how to sell out arenas and things like that. Fury's return is going to be a big deal. The problem is Frank Warren can't promote, in this day and age. He doesn't use social media. He's not with the times. He still promotes like he did when he was in the 90s and everything like that. So for me, obviously, he's getting paid. Tyson Fury said he signed with Warren because if he signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, he'd be playing second fiddle to Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua's interest. He's their best interest. So for him to sign to them when he's arguably, in his mind at least, the best heavyweight out there, for him to sign with them but not be the main priority, he kind of saw it as insulting. So he signed with Warren because he's going to be the number one sort of priority on BT Sport. So I can understand why he's done it. But I feel like, you know, if he went with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, they got it out there a lot more.
I wish he would have came to a Golden Boy, came to the West Coast. I think he would have been a star out here. I think his flamboyant style and shit. Like I think California people or even, you know, the Latinos out here probably like his trash talking and all that shit.
Yeah, the question is, would they enjoy his style? Because compared to Joshua and Wilder, he's not as big a puncher. And I know some people are going to say Joshua isn't the big puncher he's made out to be, but let's face the fact, he is at least a little bit more offensively exciting than Tyson Fury. Of course, if you take away the Parker fight, you know, against the Cam, he wasn't able to land as many punches as he wanted to, but he's still, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think he's a little bit of a more exciting fighter than Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury, and I said this in another video over at the BDA, the main channel, the thing that makes Tyson Fury so dangerous is that he can take away your right hand. He took away Klitschko's right hand. You saw how many times Klitschko was tagging Anthony Joshua with those right hands. Tyson Fury barely got touched with that right hand. He's very good at rolling with it. He's very good at keeping the distance. He's always, you know, he can bounce on his toes. What's that?
That's it. Well, he turned southpaw, didn't he? When he fought Chisora, he turned southpaw and took away Chisora's right hand. He couldn't do anything to say he did it with Klitschko as well.
Yeah, he's a pretty good switch hitter as well. So what he lacks in power, he makes up with better ring generalship and feints and more creativity. Now, the other thing is this. Deontay Wilder, I agree. The thing for me that Wilder, everybody focuses on Wilder's power, but I mentioned this prior to the Ortiz fight, and Bucho and I had done a segment where we talked about that, was how Wilder, although he is technically awful in certain aspects, he makes up with it with reflexes. And what he does that is so dangerous is that he sticks those arms out, he leans back, and he walks away leaning back. And so it's very hard to catch a tall guy like that. And then when you least expect it, when you expect him to do the same thing and back off that way, he actually stands his ground, launches that right hand, and that's how he takes guys out. Against Fury, however, Fury doesn't care about pressing the fight. He'll stay at long range all night long, feint you, move, you know, get on his toes, and he'll make your life miserable. So I don't know. I don't know if I would favor either Wilder or Joshua against him. But how about Povetkin? I mean, I know it's not that it's not a fight that everybody's looking for when they talk about Fury's comeback, but is that a winnable fight for Tyson Fury as well, or is that actually a bad style matchup?
I think that's an easier fight for him than Wilder and Joshua.
I think
Povetkin kicks everybody's ass.
I think Fury has, if Fury can keep him on the outside, wins. Obviously, it's all about keeping him on the outside. Can he hurt Povetkin and keep him out from getting in? If he can't, there's going to be problems because we know he can hit, you know, tall guys like that in the chin. And Tyson Fury has been down. Not bad. You know, he didn't go down. I forgot who knocked him down. But he has been down, so, you know, you never know with this long layoff. If he keeps Povetkin on, you know, he keeps him at bay, keeps him at a distance that's winnable for him, he's fine. If he can't, if he doesn't have the power to keep him outside, keep him, you know, honest, like they like to say, he's going to have problems in that fight.
I don't feel like I think, you know, Fury's not a big puncher, but, you know, look at his resume, look at his amateur resume in terms of knockouts and stoppages. He has got, you know, he has got power, enough power to keep you noticed and you know, make you think. I mean, the thing is, I mean, he did with Klitschko. You know, Klitschko, even later on in the fight, I mean, you know, he wasn't as offensive as he should have been. I feel like with Povetkin, I feel like he's just too small. I feel like Fury's a lot more agile. I mean, you know, you saw what Povetkin done with Price. He got tabbed by Price, and Price can't move to save his life. You know, for me, Fury, I think Fury would box circles around Povetkin. I'm talking about, you know, if the Fury that comes back that we last saw comes back, I don't see Fury having a problem beating Povetkin. But if he's anything less, I mean, I feel like Fury, if he has, you know, 80% of what he had, I feel like he probably beats, you know, all of them maybe. But anything less than that, I think he's in trouble.
It's interesting because I mean, you look at Tyson Fury, and I'm wondering, do you guys think watching him fight, watching Joshua struggle against Parker had something to do with Tyson Fury coming back?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it, right? I mean, if that does, it just tells you the mindset of. Wait,
I think he's always wanted to.
That you think that AJ struggled against Parker because he was in the building, Fury?
No. I'm saying, do you think Joshua? Yeah. I mean, do you think Fury, after watching Joshua struggle a little bit against Parker, who can roll with the right hands, just like Tyson Fury can, do you think that's when Tyson Fury said, you know what, these guys are still definitely fucking beatable?
Oh yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think.
No.
Yeah. I agree. Both fights. I think both fights gave him confidence, but I think he wanted to come back anyways. But I think both those fights gave him an extra boost of confidence.
I don't think they had anything to do with him coming back. Personally, I feel like Fury wanted to come back in general. He definitely. I mean, Fury said for a while that he sees Joshua as this robotic, one-dimensional bodybuilder, as he likes to say. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like those performances showed him anything different. I thought, Fury said for a long time that what he sees in Joshua is what we've seen in the last few fights. I feel, I thought they definitely got you can't say they can't give him confidence, because Joshua's looked really pretty lackluster in his last few performances against Parker and Takan. So Fury's definitely, looked at them and studied them. But I feel like Fury thinks everybody in the division's pretty poor compared to he is anyway. So I don't feel like he's changed his outlook on the division. I feel like he thought he could beat everyone anyway, and rightfully so. But I just feel like he sees the division as kind of an easy sort of pickings for him. And I feel like if he comes back to what he was, I don't see him having many problems at all.
You don't see him having any problems at all. Well, it's interesting because, again, there's somebody in the chat room, James Erickson, saying Fury was knocked down by Cunningham, AJ was knocked down by Klitschko. Who has Wilder been dropped by? Now, that's every time Fury comes up, that Cunningham fight.
He got dropped by that journeyman, didn't he, early on in his career?
Who's that? Wilder, right? Didn't he get dropped?
Yeah, he got dropped by that.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Which journeyman dropped him? I'm not sure which way you're talking about.
Cameron, did they?
Wilder got dropped, man.
Hold on.
Wait,
Hold on. What's that? Recognize? What did you say?
No, I was gonna ask Cameron. Maybe I'm mistaken, but he knocked Wilder down, but they didn't call it a knockdown. Was that what happened?
No, it wasn't knockdown. Yeah, it was official knockdown. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Yep.
Oh well, there you go. Wilder's been dropped, and he's been hurt twice now.
Yeah, no, he's been. I think again, going back really quickly to the whole Styles matchup, there's also a possibility. Again, going by Fury's last performance against Vladimir Klitschko, that he can outbox Wilder easily, because Wilder has been outboxed badly against Washington. And what did Washington use? The jab, right? He used that jab, not quite as, he's not technically sound like a guy like Tyson Fury, or rather, he doesn't have the kind of skill set that Fury has. So if Fury is anywhere near the fighter that beat Vladimir Klitschko, again, he can beat these two guys. Or let's throw Povetkin in the mix. He might be too big for him too. He might be able to outbox him. He has decent power. Yeah,
decent. But yeah, I don't mean to call him. I hope people don't get the wrong impression. I'm not saying that Tyson Fury is a pity pat puncher, but at least compared to Joshua and Wilder, he definitely seems to have more of a pop on his shots.
He stopped Christian Hammer, and Povetkin didn't. So it shows he's got power. He can punch.
Yeah, he can punch, man. And like we said before, he forced Chisora's corner to stop the fight. Well, I don't remember. Was it the corner that stopped the fight, or?
Yeah.
Or the ref? Okay.
Called him out.
It was.
He was getting beat up. Though. He was getting beat up every minute of every round.
Yeah, he owned Chisora. He owned him.
Yeah, so he knows how to use that size. Twice, and he knows how to use that size. So, by the way, we have Stu Little on the line.
I wasn't bad, though. I told you what's going to happen, Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come, the oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen. What's happening, boys?
Let's see. Hey,
a new intro and everything.
Yeah, well, that's a second intro that Bucho made. Stuart, thank you for being on, first of all. I always appreciate your time. Like always, of course, I don't know if you've heard the news, Tyson Fury has come back, and I got a feeling you got something to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great news, the heavyweight division Fury. I mean, we can get a lot of questions answered when he fights these guys. I mean, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, this guy was a unified world champion. He dominated Klitschko in his own backyard, and he was the main man. And obviously, he went off the rails, and boxing has to move on. And we did move on, but he's coming back, and you know, it's great news. It really is great news.
Yeah, it would appear so, man. I mean, like I said before, I don't think Tyson Fury is that exciting. But if you really break it down, Anthony Joshua hasn't been exciting in his past 2 fights. Deontay Wilder is not exciting unless he's fighting somebody that's completely outmatched. He does get knockouts, but that's preceded by 6 or 7 rounds of him not willing to commit. So if we're gonna criticize Tyson Fury for being boring, or some people are gonna do that, you gotta kind of criticize Deontay Wilder and Joshua as well. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, Josh. I thought Joshua was atrocious against Joseph Parker. It was just it was terrible to watch. So,
oh yeah,
you know, Tyson Fury. I mean, I think Tyson Fury's performance against Klitschko. I mean, a lot of people, you know, didn't like it, said it was a boring performance. But Vladimir, very hard man to hit. I mean, this guy. There's a reason he was unbeaten for 10 years, and all these guys he was knocking out, all these big punches he was fighting, and they couldn't connect on the button. I know Brad's got, say, a dodgy chin. A lot of people say he's got a dodgy chin, and I'll go with that. But Vlad is a very hard man to hit clean. He blocks, especially the right hand. I mean, Vlad keeps his left hand really high, and uses them fucking tree trunk arms to block a lot of shots. And I think that's what made Tyson look a bit sloppy. I think Tyson was trying to connect with his right hand, but Vlad's very hard to hit with a right hand. So that left hand stays high. It blocks with his elbows and his tree trunk arms. And, you know, he's a skilled fucking veteran. So 3 years out of the ring is a long time. You know, Muhammad Ali, for me, was never the same guy when he came back after 3 years. I know he was still a good fighter, but I still think he lost a couple of yards. So we're going to have to see. I mean, you know, like I said, it's the unknown at the moment, but I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, it definitely is the unknown. But like you said, and I mentioned this before too as well in another video, which is that Klitschko is, like you said, pretty hard to catch. I don't fault anybody for not being. You can't catch this guy with a combination. Let's just put it that way. So there's no shame in looking bad in certain spots against Vladimir Klitschko, who, let's also face it, gold medalist, long-reigning heavyweight champion, probably the guy with the best resume at that time than anybody else. Now that's my question: who has? Because some people say, I was reading Ring TV, and in the comment section, Doug Fisher was commenting. And he said that Tyson Fury still has something to prove compared to the new guys that have cropped up. And I'm curious, do you guys think Tyson Fury has something to prove other than whether he's really back?
Yeah, I mean, he beat the man, but can he prove that? You know, he has to prove whether, you know, he didn't prove. Well, he didn't have the opportunity to, but he didn't prove that he could be a dominant champion. You know, he had to win over Klitschko. But can it? You know, it's easy. You know, it's easier becoming champion than staying champion. So I mean, he's got that to prove, I guess. But in terms of like how good he is and everything like that, I think he showed in that fight. You know how good he is. He showed he's world class. You know, he was the man at the time. Is he the man now? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? And that's what he's got to prove.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Because Doug Fisher, his point is that ever since Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder have stepped up their game, Tyson Fury's only real shining moment was against Vladimir Klitschko. And even then, Doug Fisher feels like that wasn't that big a moment because it was a very tentative affair. But then
let's counter that quickly. I mean, yeah, Joshua and Wilder have only got one standout performance on their resume as well. Joshua Klitschko and Wilder Ortiz. So they've all got one standout performance. So they've all got something to prove. That's why all three of them need to fight each other. I mean, it's simple as that.
Well, that's another interesting question. Who has a better resume between those three guys, between Joshua, Wilder, and Tyson Fury?
A good one.
AJ for me.
Because of the what would you say then?
His win against Dominic Breazeale. Now I know he's not a world beater, but that performance at that time was really good. I don't know. Vladimir Klitschko. It's hard to say it's better than Fury's because Fury did beat up Chisora twice. When Chisora was a bit better back then. And then he's got his win over Vladimir Klitschko, who was on that run, of successful title defenses, So it's hard to say. Maybe I'll take that back. I think Fury slightly. Let's say Fury
it's a tough one. It's tough, isn't it?
One, though. It is a tough one. Definitely much better than either guy has a much better resume than Wilder.
Yeah, I don't know who to choose out of that. I think it's pretty close.
Well, let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let's see if they can help us out. Pete Stammer says Wilder has long arms. Rod T. Davis says Joshua stopped blood. So I think he gives that win more credence.
Yeah.
Chisora wanted...
You can pick holes and eat both of their wins over Klitschko, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, okay, look, let's focus on Anthony Joshua. He has a win over Gillon, who's a pretty, he's been on the run lately. Not an impressive run, but it's...
At the time, he was pretty unproven, though.
Exactly, yeah, you're right. But let's include it anyway. Let's include the Klitschko win. I'm not really gonna include the Breazeale win because that to me doesn't do much. And then of course Takam, I'm not gonna include it. I'm gonna include Parker. So you got those three wins. Then Wilder, you have Stiverne. That was 3 years ago, that win, the first one, which I actually thought was a good win. And since then, really, who has he beaten? That's really good. Luis Ortiz is the only really big name. So those are two names on his resume. Tyson Fury has Chisora 2 times on his resume. He has Vladimir Klitschko.
Christian Hammer.
Christian Hammer. See, I'm not that familiar with Christian Hammer. How good is he?
I mean, he's got some solid wins. He beat Tepper and he beat somebody else before losing to Povetkin. I mean, he was on a decent run. He was actually getting some momentum after losing to Fury. So, and he was talking about fighting, being a potential fight for Joshua at one point. Obviously, it didn't happen, but he was on a run. I think they were talking about it around the time he fought Molina. So, I mean, he's not a world beater. But then again, this division outside of Wilder, Joshua, Fury, I mean, really the division's so poor that all of them, most of these guys, you can say, well, are they really that good? Will they really prove? You know what I mean? I mean, most of them are all Klitschko victims. So,
I mean, can you imagine the build-up to Tyson Fury v Dillian Whyte? The press conferences, that's a fight I'd like to see as one of Fury's build-up fights.
Oh yeah,
yeah, maybe the second or third one. Yeah,
that'd be a nice one. The build-up for that fight would be intense. They'll go at it.
Well, that'll probably happen because as soon as Fury starts talking about Joshua, Eddie Hearn will put White in there first anyway. So it seems to be a reoccurring thing that's going on, isn't it?
That would be.
Who would you guys pick? That's a silly question, but who would you pick? Fury versus White right now?
Really hard to say, innit? Because I legit just don't know how good Fury is now. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
No,
Fury could come back and be absolutely shit.
I think Fury beats Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, he's always punches out of range. He throws. He's not very accurate. He doesn't turn his punches, so they're like slaps. And I just think with Tyson's jab and feints, I don't think Gillon will be able to get close to him. I think it would be like another Chisora performance when he beat Chisora.
All right.
I think Fury's still the fighter he was, or even 70% of the fight he was. I think he wins that fight.
That's. I mean, listen.
Yeah, man.
Tyson Fury.
What would have trouble getting him in range? He really would.
Yeah, and like I said, man, if you
did you hear me say that?
Huh?
No, I didn't.
Did you hear me say that, or did it cut out?
Yeah, I think it cut out.
Know.
Did it cut out again?
Yeah, it cut out.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, man. This fucking internet is terrible. But what can I do, man? What I've tried to get better internet, but I can't out here. Out here. So I don't even have gas. I have to use oil. So it just shows you I'm definitely not going to have fiber cables around here.
Stu, do you live in the mountains?
Huh?
Do you live in the mountains?
Hmm.
No, I live in the countryside, the English countryside.
Because if you do, that's probably why.
I live like right next to my house. You got the forest, like you got a massive forest and all that. But I don't have like my connection's pretty good. I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere down the south, but it's all right. This connection here.
Yeah. I mean, Sky. When I rang Sky up about getting broadband, they actually refused to fucking take me on because they could only offer me 1 bar of broadband. So
yeah, you can. There's no way you can get some sort of special line all over there.
No.
Did you close the stream, the YouTube stream? Did you stop downloading porn? Like do all of that, man. Like just close everything.
I've got everything closed, man. There's not a lot I can do. It's fucking frustrating as fuck, man. But what can I do? I mean, look, everyone keeps having a go at me, but it's like I said to a guy in the chat. What do you want me to do? Fucking move house so you can hear me better on the BDA podcast.
But sometimes it's good. Sometimes I think that like when it's like 6 p.m. over here, your connection sucks. But then later on, it gets better.
Yeah.
So that's what I noticed.
It does, man.
I'm just waiting for everybody to drop off, man. I'm just waiting for everybody to drop off at some point, except me and Stu.
Now, would you stop hexing this podcast with your bad omens? Would you do that, please, Kevin?
You know it's gonna happen at some point, bro. So I might as well just get out there.
Yeah, but everybody, listen. That's the thing. You have to keep in mind, guys. At some point, you might drop out. So let's just keep that in mind and don't panic. Just come back and recognize. I think I have to send you a direct call, so you can join. But
I was listening back to last night's show earlier on, Stop Topic Quick, and I was looking through the comments, and there was quite a few heated discussions going on. Now, me and Butcher were talking about in DM earlier on, man. Hammer the Precise, they were going at it in the comments. I mean, it was quite good. I mean, I don't know why people just don't do it on air. You know what I mean? Just have a nice sort of debate instead of going in comments and having digs.
Okay, well, now let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. Is there a problem between Michael and Stu, or Michael, were you just breaking balls?
Am I being asked some?
Yeah, were you?
Yeah.
Because it seems like over at last night's show in the comment section, there seems to be a little bit of strife between you and Stu. Were you just breaking Stu's balls about the internet connection, or was that a real complaint?
Well, yeah, I think we're all like busting his balls about it. I just think it's funny that you know, like sometimes people will be talking and then he'll talk, but he doesn't know it. But like he'll think you're interrupting him, but it's kind of like, dude, like someone else was already talking before you, but he doesn't know it though.
Yeah, because like I said, I
don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with anyone interrupting me. It's when I'm trying to talk and I can hear 50 cars in the background and someone eating popcorn and crisps. I mean, my signal's bad enough as it is. I can barely hear you as it is. And
it was I mean, it's been cut off again, isn't it? But
yeah,
it was yesterday
when
Stu was talking and Precise was rattling rappers in the background.
Listen, sometimes we can be up to 9 people in the hangout, so it's gonna be a bit chaotic sometimes, you know.
Just a
That's
tiny.
why everybody's got mute.
I think if you're not used to it, you don't know like how it works. So I think when people are new on the channel or new to it, just like I was, they don't know how to like control their mic, or they don't know the echoing, and
yeah, you need to mute your
mics.
mics. Yeah, if you're not talking, then please mute your mics. You know.
Yeah. Unless you're sitting in a silent room like me, there's literally no noise at all.
Yeah, but then we can hear your farts and shit. So.
I don't fart.
Okay.
I don't fart. You might hear me sniff a bit of cocaine.
I've got no noise and I can fucking barely connect to you half the time. I mean, it's a joke, man. It's fucking internet.
Yeah. You're fine today. Yesterday was pretty crappy, though.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Like I said, I do apologise to all you guys, man. I mean, it's either that or I don't come on. There's nothing I can do. I've tried everything. I pay a stupid money for my.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like sometimes it only happens now and then. It's not that bad. The only problem is like sometimes like you'll cut out and we think like you've stopped talking, and then we start talking, but then you all of a sudden you come out of nowhere. So it's like that's why it gets me muddled up.
Because I remember on one of the shows I made a comment about when he was talking about nationalities, and I made a comment and it cut out and it made me sound a right dope because it said a dog is not a horse, right? And it sounded a ridiculous comment, but it cut out. What I actually said was. A dog is not a horse if it's born in a stable. I was talking about nationality, but it cut out and it made me sound right. I mean, the internet's terrible. There's not a lot.
All right, enough internet talk over here. We're not Best Buy here, all right? We're not Future Shop. So let's enough internet connection talk. Let's save that for the other podcast.
I just had to clear it. I just had to clear it up because everywhere I go, people are fucking bashing me about the internet, and it's like I'm a cheapskate or something. So, I mean.
Apologies to stand in the room and all you hear is cars in the background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just on my way home from work.
That's okay.
We were just talking about how we always hear cars in the background on the show.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry
or roosters or some shit, like roosters and goats and shit. You guys ever hear roosters and goats in the background?
Yeah, if I hear a goat,
that's precise.
Yeah, precise as animals and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, apology, man. Apology. Thanks for showing up, man. I always appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
We're talking about Tyson Fury coming back. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited to see how he does, and if he's still in his prime or how his mental state is. Obviously he needs to actually come back first, actually fight before I get really hyped. But other than that, it's looking good for the heavyweight division.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to him winning and somehow being able to snatch the mic away from the interviewer so that we can see if Tyson Fury still has the vocal cords to pull off that amazing singing of his.
No, he doesn't, man. Have you heard his voice?
Yeah, it sounds like mine, but way worse.
What's happened to his? What's happened to his voice? Can someone tell me what the fuck has happened to his voice?
He said this is the reason. He said that obviously people think it's because he's done all his cocaine and all that. But according to him, it's because he says he got punched in sparring in the throat and he needs to have an operation to remove some clot in his throat or something like that. And he doesn't have it done. That's his reasoning for it. Yeah. But then again, it might be because of his lifestyle. That's probably a more logical reason.
No, he said his normal voice will return eventually.
Do you guys think he was replaced?
I mean, the way he talks, it's like one of them. It's the ones. The ones that have around. That's how he speaks. I mean, he needs to get. He really does.
The thing is, you listen to Mary one interview he did with IFL, and he was sounding normal. Then it started going croaky again. Then it went back to normal. It was going croaky again. It does need to sort it out.
But what happened with Peter? I've not really got to the box split.
Yeah, what's going on here, man? Apologies on camera, I think. Apologies walking the streets at the time.
What happened with Peter Fury and Tyson Fury? How come they split?
Actually, there's loads of things going on around about that. Now, I honestly thought that Fury just got with that Ben Davison to get into shape and he'll go back to Peter for the actual fights. But it doesn't look like it's happening. So I don't know.
Wait, they
You
split?
don't hear, you don't hear Peter talking about him either. So I feel like there's something's gone on there. To be honest with you, I don't see why they would have just split up. You know what I mean?
Wait, when did this happen?
Oh, it happened like
me too.
a few months ago, didn't it? It was last year when he got that Ben Davison, when he kind of talking about getting back, and he said somebody asked him if he'd be trained by Peter Fury, and he refused to answer it. And then Peter Fury,
Oh, damn.
Peter Fury would talk about him in the interview. So you getting cocaine in the background there? Apology or what?
Yeah, apology. Please shut your mic off if you're gonna be.
Well, you say shut your mouth then.
No, I said shut his mic. I didn't say shut his mouth. Yeah, you gotta. Anyway. Butcher, what do you?
Off, man.
All right, so listen. I mean, I gotta ask you a question here because I'm genuinely curious. I'm not that familiar with KIWI Fury. I've only really watched in depth the Parker fight. What separates KIWI Fury from Tyson Fury? Because they have similar styles.
Well, Fury's moves a lot more. He's much more defensive than Tyson. He throws a lot more single shots than Tyson. I mean, Fury doesn't stand in the. You saw against Parker, he moves all the time. He doesn't stand in the pocket. He doesn't, put combinations together. Whereas Tyson, he moves a lot. He's not, most exciting fighter to watch, but he stands in the pocket and he does take center of the ring. Fury doesn't do that. Tyson's got more power than Fury, so obviously Tyson can take control of the center of the ring, whereas Fury's not really got the power to do that. I mean, fair enough, he's a lot younger. People say, he's still a young man and he would develop the power. He just naturally hasn't got the power. That's why his style was like that. He's always going to be like that. Whereas Tyson is offensively, he's much more creative and he can do a lot more because of the fact he's got more power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in on that? On what the difference is between KIWI Fury and Tyson Fury?
Size.
Well, they're both giants, right?
Shit. They both kind of have the same exact routine. Like, it's just one's bigger than the other.
That's right. That's right.
That's basically it. One of them's better than the other one.
I think you know what? I'll say this. I think Tyson Fury is more composed than KIWI Fury. I think if Tyson Fury fought,
confident.
Yeah, a little bit more confident. I think if he fought Parker, you wouldn't see Tyson Fury running all over the ring the way KIWI Fury was. I think he'd stand his ground more, and he would just make Parker miss with essential upper body movement. Rolling with the right hands and all that. All right. By the way, we got Graphic. No, what's his name? Greg on the line. Greg, are you there?
What up?
All right, Greg. Thanks for
Am
being.
I in? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
man.
you.
Oh, good, man. Good. First of all, I want to say thank you all to everyone who's doing this because this is the best boxing podcast I've found.
No kidding.
Brilliant. All of you are great as well. The old recognised X thing, great, cracking. Recognised intro as well, brilliant.
That's high praise right there, man. Let me tell you. Well, first of all, thank you.
How come BDA only attracts Brits, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. We only attack Brits. Well. By the way, do you think Tyson Fury is gonna be the same after all that coke and all those fry-ups that he's been eating?
No, not a chance. I don't think we've ever seen a fighter come back. The thing I was saying in the chat earlier was Kell Brook goes up, was it one weight division to fight Golovkin, and everyone says he's finished. Tyson Fury goes up fucking 15 weight divisions and goes down the barbecue, eats about 16 pounds of meat and fucking falafel or whatever, and he comes back and everyone thinks, oh yeah, he's gonna school and dance around again.
Yeah,
I don't get that logic.
I said that on Twitter earlier on today. Actually, I completely agree.
And by the way, for how long was Muhammad Ali away from the ring?
4 years, wasn't it? 4 years.
4 years.
3 years.
3 years. Okay, we gotta get right together here.
Muhammad Ali wasn't banging cocaine and fucking Budweiser down his neck, though, was he?
Well, you never know.
Ali wasn't getting fat.
All right, yeah, it was 3 years. It was 3 years, and he came back when he was. So he was born in. He was born in 1942. How old was he when he came back? He was 30, almost 30. Yeah, something like that. That's
But he looked like shit when he came back, like compared to in terms of athletics, his athletic ability. He looked like, to me, he looked garbage when he came back, and so did Mike Tyson. So it's gonna be interesting when guys take that long layoff, how they look when they come back.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, exactly. And here's the other thing, man. Cocaine will kill your reflexes. It killed Pernell Whitaker's. I think Pernell Whitaker was smoking crack. I forget whether it was cocaine or crack, but it will kill your career. It's a bad drug. It's not the good type of drug. Let's just put it that way. So I mean, and all the eating and the having to lose weight. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, not to Paulie. He loves that.
Do I have to put up the photo of Paulie Malignaggi again, the way he looked in Brandon Schaub's show? I'll put it up in a little while. First of all, we got to get down to business.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what did you say last night? It was catch and shoot all day?
Catch and shoot. I can do it.
All right.
Catch and shoot nothing,
I was listening back to the show earlier on, and that moment where you started doing that voice out of nowhere, we were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, you thought somebody had hacked into the... All right, by the way, I got to tell, first of all, before we continue, we got Precise on the line.
Dependent upon how you interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
That's right. Very well said. All right, Precise, thank you for being on. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Hello, right. Everyone.
Hello.
Precise.
Always appreciate your time. Precise, you've been very vocal about Tyson Fury's...
Everything.
Well, yeah, but in particular, Tyson Fury being superior to the current batch of heavyweights, and you've gone after the Joshua fanboys, as you like to call them, or fangirls, depends on what day you're speaking. What do you make of this Tyson announcing his comeback? Is he serious, and how much trouble can he cause in a comeback?
Man, you never know about Tyson Fury, if he's serious or not. You know, I never paid much attention to all the rumors or evidence of him being mentally unstable and all that, and I've only worried about that which I see in the ring. But, you know, given what he's been doing lately, it's kind of hard to ignore the fact that the man's just a fucking live wire. You just don't know. However, whether he's, you know, 100%, 120%, 75% of the guy that beat Klitschko, this is a good thing for the, you know, somewhat stale and overhyped heavyweight division. The more the merrier, basically. And, you know, you gotta, based on what he did prior to retiring, you gotta give him the benefit of the doubt and consider him, if not the man, technically he is the man in the division until proven otherwise, but he's definitely, you know, top 3, top 2.
So you still think he's a lineal champion?
Well, unless he officially retired, that has always been the case. The man to beat the man will forever be the man until he retires or gets beaten or moves up or down in weight. Those are.
I hope Lennox Lewis comes back then, because Tyson Fury would have to beat him to be the man.
Well, come on. I mean, this whole thing about lineal titles is a little bit muddy, because who do you consider the arbiter of assigning a lineal champion?
I just told you what the rules are. Those rules have always been respected until recently, when it seems like everybody, including BoxRec and Cyber Boxing Zone, they've all sold out. But, you know, Dempsey was away from the ring and ducking challengers and, you know, fighting once every 4 years or something like that. And he was the man, because you're the man until somebody beats you or until you retire. And those rules have always been respected. So I don't see why we should change that now.
But
I just don't get it. And as far as Lennox Lewis goes, he retired. So that's that. So again, unless Tyson Fury said, I'm retired, he is the lineal champion. If you're going to go with...
I mean, he said that many times. I mean, he must have said I'm retiring about 200 times in his career.
That's true.
He did officially in England. I don't know. Did he officially retire? I never heard that.
Compare Fury, Muhammad Ali. I mean, back then, fighters were 35. They were done. I mean, with the nutrition and all the other stuff that's going around, and you know, they're 38, 39. So I think Tyson Fury is still. I think he can still do it. I really do. I mean, comparing him to Muhammad Ali's different eras. Back then, you were shot to pieces in mid-30s.
That's because they were fucking popping bennies like crazy. They were taking PEDs like it was candy back then. So they didn't really know about the long-term effects of PED abuse, and that's why they burnt out so quickly. And obviously, being all jacked up in the ring, you fought like a madman, and that also took its toll.
All right, now let me ask you this precise: do you think Tyson Fury's craziness, which is real, by the way, I don't think he's not the type of guy that fakes being out of control. He really is that type of, do you think that's actually an advantage to him in certain ways? Like people don't know what to expect of him when he steps into the ring?
No, I don't think so. I think it might, the mind games that he plays might affect certain fighters. But that's about it. As far as in the ring, I think it could be a disadvantage to him if he starts clowning around. He could get clocked, just like with Cunningham. So I don't think that unpredictability is going to do anything for him in the ring.
I think he's definitely. I feel like all the things he's been saying, I've kind of, it was an interview event Josh would have got put out today, and he basically told Fury to shut his mouth. For me, Fury's the one guy who really gets under Joshua's skin. So I feel like, if that fight happens, when it happens, I think it'll be very interesting to see how Joshua reacts to Fury in the press conference in the build up to that fight, because Fury's gone, bro.
No, Tyson Fury is the best in the game at getting in fighters' heads. For some reason, a lot of fighters, they fear Tyson Fury. They're scared of the guy. And you know what Chizore's like? The guy was like a fucking mouse when it went in the press conference against Fury. Fury's just got that knack of getting in fighters' heads and a little bit. I mean, Deontay Wilder looked a bit. I'm not saying he was shook, but when Tyson Fury got in the ring, Wilder wasn't saying much. Really, was he? What was he doing?
What about,
he looked like he was a bit shit.
What about when the David A in the press conference, he was silent as well, wasn't he? Silenced Hay big time.
David A can't say shit anyway, can he? When Shannon Briggs started calling him champ.
No, but I mean, Hay was, Fury was just, he was silencing Hay with
Tyson Fury.
I think Hay could have beat Tyson Fury, to be honest.
You lost to Tyson Fury. You're a 3-time loser.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, actually. Now that he mentions that Greg mentions that when Tyson Fury and Hay were supposed to fight, that was what, 2014, 2015? 13. Jeez, how does time fly by? Yeah, who would you guys have favored back then?
That's the style I would have thought Hay would beat Fury. He's not. It's like, I wouldn't say he's Tyson, but he's got a Tyson style fighting stance, hasn't he? He springs up from lower stances.
I mean, in hindsight, more people would have picked Fury, but at the time, how many people were picking Fury?
I was.
That's true. There wasn't, because even Hay like throwing insults to, remember to Chisora when he was like, he lost to Tyson Fury, like as if that was a bad thing.
He was gonna make mincemeat out of David Hay. David Hay might have knocked him down, but Fury was gonna get up and beat his ass. Anyway, it's my opinion.
Yeah, Tyson Fury.
Hay's too small, man. He's too small.
Yeah, Tyson Fury. Yeah, he schools him. David Hay. We see David Hay when he fought a big guy. Yeah, he's too small. When he fights the big guy with a good jab, a good feints, good movement, and basically, like, especially Klitschko. I mean, that Klitschko won every second. So David A trying to no heart. Then make words. Fuck David A.
Yeah, but Hay had a broken little pinky toe. Come on, you can't fight that way. It's insane.
Yeah, that's true.
It's insane.
He's always got an injury, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's always got something.
Whenever Hay got in the ring with a big man that was any good, he was very tentative. He took his time, and then he staged one assault like every 6 rounds, basically. Anything that was serious. And that just wasn't going to work against Tyson Fury. Maybe he would have knocked him down. Hay's power would not have translated to a big man like that, because you got to punch up, you got to jump into your punches. Tyson likes to lean away from shots. He rolls. He couldn't. David Hay wouldn't be able to do anything with Tyson Fury. Maybe put him on his ass once, maybe.
Well, it's interesting because people still, back in those days, people were saying that Hay was going to beat him because Cunningham had dropped him, and so what was Hay going to do? And
people have hated and underrated Tyson Fury throughout his entire career. Man.
But that's what I was going to say, because I was reading the comments here in several message boards, and people are still bringing up the Cunningham fight.
He destroyed Cunningham.
Cunningham brooked him up, man.
Cunningham got fucking smashed to pieces. Let's be real.
This is why I like Cunningham, because Tyson Fury is a fighter that can get knocked down, stand back up, and come back and win a fight from the back foot. That's why Tyson Fury is so loved, because of the Cunningham fight.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people Fury around him. He was just left to his own devices, and this is a guy you cannot leave to his own devices. He's not mentally stable. You send him to America to let loose in America, and he fought like that. It was a terrible performance. That wasn't Tyson Fury. The Tyson Fury that sticks by his boxing and gets behind his jab takes Cunningham to school every day of the week. But every fighter has a bad night at the office, and that's definitely his.
Can you guys hear Stu?
Now you've got Fury.
No, you're cutting off, man.
Stu, can you close down all the other apps, Stu? Because we hear like every third word, basically.
I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, Stu was just saying, like, when he fights away from Peter Fury, he's not the same fighter, is he? But that brings a question now. He's
who's this Ben Davis guy? Yeah,
who is Ben Davis. So how's he going to perform then?
Yeah, who is he? I don't know, man. I thought.
Do you guys know? Like, what's he done? Is he good? Is he credible?
Just a fucking gym rat. I don't know who he is. He trained Billy Joe Saunders when he was fat and overweight.
Oh, damn.
Oh boy.
I do. That's terrible. Tyson Fury, he had a bad day at the office, but when he gets behind his jab and he boxes, then he takes Cunningham weak.
He's an underrated inside fighter. For as big as he is, he's a great inside fighter. Like, people don't give him credit for that.
Fury's good friends with Billy Joe. He needs to get in the Ingle gym. He needs to get that trainer behind him. Then he'd be really dangerous.
The Ingles, man, they've Tyson just needs to stick to Peter Fury, man. I don't know what's going on there. I don't think anybody really does, apart from the people involved. But I don't know, man. What's not broken, don't fix what's not broken. And,
I reckon
you didn't get.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, because I think Groves. I think the same thing. When Groves got rid of Adam Booth, he wasn't the same fighter for quite a long time, and it cost him a couple of defeats. I think if you change your trainer, and if it, like Cameron said, if it's working, don't change it. And he's changed it, so we're gonna have to see how it goes on. But he took a while to get back to his best when he left Adam Booth.
From what I've heard, listening to Peter Fury's interviews, it sounds like he just got fed up with Tyson Fury's bullshit and decided to put all his energies into his son.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's probably the more realistic reason.
I think if Huey, I mean, it'd take about 5 years, but I think as soon as he matures, he'd be a great fighter. He's just too.
Yeah.
But I thought he beat Parker, man. So.
I'd almost agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too confident on that, but yeah, all he needs is more. As controversial and standard as it is when you say he needs more years, like people say that about Parker, but Huey Fury is the one fight that does just need more years under his belt.
What is he? 23, 24?
Yeah, he's so young for a heavyweight.
He just turned.
How the hell did he beat Parker?
Punched him on the head.
Well, he outboxed him, didn't he?
I mean, like running away on the ropes and being all afraid of getting hit.
Yeah, he moved. In my opinion, a lot of wasted movement.
I mean,
a lot of wasted movement.
There's an argument there to say that he won that fight.
I didn't score it, so I don't know.
I think a lot of people overlook Joseph Parker's body punches, man. He just kept going to the body. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not taking the bait.
I'm quite wild on the scoring fights because I score slaps and stuff. So
I'm just gonna do a Carl Froch and just score every round of the fight. I'll say 10-10 from now on. I can't be.
Who's the Sky fighter? Who's the Sky fighter? And I'll put him up 9 rounds to 10.
Hello, you lot hear me?
Yeah, man.
I got a question for Bucho. What happened to the second Renaissance?
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna do a show today, but since this Fury news came out, we decided to make a boxing podcast instead.
Lizards took over, mate.
Do 2 shows in one. Do 2 shows in one.
I guess we could.
That's not gonna work. Because we'll start talking about other things. They'll be white and black. Oh, go back to boxing. Go back to boxing,
yeah,
please.
True. People always complain.
Yeah, like, these podcasts are much better when you're kind of switching it up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take a little break, you know.
Thank you.
What else do we want to cover about Fury? I mean, who's his potential fight against? It's not going to be above the
Gary Cornish.
Dillian White.
What's his weight? What's his weight at the moment? Does anybody know?
Yes. What's his weight? What is he's gonna be?
Let's make the fucking Gary Cornish fight.
Guy, is this guy gonna be like over 250 or for sure? No.
No matter his weight, he's going to be fighting Dubois' leftovers.
AJ Carter.
Yeah, it's going to be some real horrendous opposition.
I thought it was going to be, let's go, champ.
No, I'd love Briggs. Briggs is the absolute echelon of what kind of return fight you could imagine. But this is British boxing. We have to carefully take care of our fighters and wrap them in cotton wool. You can't push them too far.
Yeah, you can't.
I'd like to see that.
You can't miss Tyson Fury against a 50-year-old man in his first fight back.
He's not a threat to Fury. I don't care which Fury you bring in.
You don't want a threat, you know what I mean, for his first fight. You want someone that's somewhat durable. He's going to take a ass whooping.
Fury versus Brock Lesnar, guys. Who do you got? First fight back.
I think it's going to be Ustinov. I think that's as hard as it's going to get for him.
I think that's too hard for him in his first fight back, believe it or not.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Maybe a little fat man.
Needs to fight somebody who can give him rounds, but it's not going to literally be a threat, if you know what I mean.
Price.
Price is a threat, man. Price is a threat.
Yeah.
He dot Price. Remember that guys, big dot Price back in the day.
Hey, Lucas Brown.
The amateurs, yeah.
Didn't Price beat him?
No, in the pros, he dot Price. Fury was the British champion, and Price was the #1 contender.
I saw it.
Sorry, he docked him.
Sorry, bro. I thought you said dropped Price, not ducked Price.
No, he docked Price. Fury did.
Well, he did him a favor in hindsight. He did him a big favor.
He wants to fight David Price.
Certainly did.
He wants to fight David Price's gay lover, Tony Bellew, now, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's what...
yeah, I remember that.
I don't know. David Price, the only threat he poses is to insurance companies. Every time he gets knocked out, he has to collect on that insurance. Let me tell you something. He has to come back against some sort of like a local British guy. You know, like somebody that's going to, last a couple of rounds, take the rust of him.
You know.
A bouncer or something. Yeah, well, not a bouncer, but you know what I mean, right? Like somebody from...
He needs to get into Hollywood acting and become like an action hero or something like that.
Does he look like an action hero to you?
He'd be better off.
Hey, if David Price fought Sean Cummins, for Sean Cummins,
he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, to all the Roy Jones Jr. apologists, why aren't we talking about Tyson Fury being drained? I mean, dropping all that weight, isn't that going to affect him? Isn't he going to be drained? Isn't he going to like have no reflexes, no speed, and all that stuff that's supposedly happened to? That's not.
He might not be the same guy though.
No, that's the biggest fucking load of BS.
It's true, man. By the way,
That's not what happens when you lose weight. That's not. No, that's not what
Only
happens when you lose-
Precise could bring up Roy Jones Jr. Only a hater like Precise could bring
Yeah,
it
we're
up.
talking Tyson Fury all of a sudden, Roy Jones. But listen, I mean, I don't know. Is Tyson Fury losing muscle or is he losing fat?
Well, he's 29. I mean,
He's losing
let's
fat,
hope
though.
that that's not as bad, you know.
Have you seen his body, BD? I don't know where you've been for the last few years, but have you not seen his physique over the last few years?
It was a rhetorical question.
He's losing sexual partners if he's
now
no
that
longer
he's off.
BBW.
Now that he's off Nandrolone, he lost a lot of muscle, no doubt about it. Now that he's not training, he lost a lot of muscle.
He never
come on,
really had
dude.
muscle, though.
Like if he burned that fat off, the dude was jacked.
Hold on, one at a time.
Tyson Fury's like he's got a lot of muscle. Don't kid yourself. Just like Povetkin's got a lot of muscle. It's just covered in a little blanket of
Yeah, but he have to lose that over a period of 4 months. He didn't.
Oh,
stop
he for sure lost a lot of muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, but you brought up Roy Jones. Roy Jones had to lose that muscle from the month of March to November. This guy's been off for 2.5 years.
Roy lost 12 pounds, bro, if that. Anthony Joshua lost 14 in like 6 months, and no one was talking about him being drained. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, we'll save that for another day. I just wanted to say how Roy Jones Jr. seems to be the only one who seems to be affected by losing weight, but it never figures into these heavyweights who go up and down like crazy. Deontay Wilder dropped like 15 fucking pounds.
Yeah, that one was weird. That was
okay.
Weird.
That seems to be the trend right now. A lot of these heavyweights are getting slim and lean, using their speed. I think going for speed instead of size and power. That seems to be the trend.
Speed instead of
Wilder didn't
anabolics.
lose 15 pounds though. Wilder was never 230.
Sure was.
Really?
Yeah,
I have
Wilder
to check that.
Came into the ring.
I thought he was fought at 216.
No, he weighed 216 against Ortiz, but before that he was 220 something, I think.
He's never
he was 214, I guess.
He's never been 250.
The thing with Wilder, though,
230.
The thing with Wilder, he weighs 216, but if you chopped his legs off, it'd be 214. I mean, legs, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, man, the muscles in the legs are the hardest. Some of the hardest. The calves, especially the calves, they're hard to develop, man. The quads not so much, but the calves, if you're shaped like Chris Algieri or something, you're not gonna have huge fucking Pacquiao or Nassim Hamed calves. But it's interesting. The thing with Tyson Fury is that if he's losing weight, I don't know, but he's gonna have to come back against somebody that's gonna be beatable on paper, but that's gonna be able to push him a little bit just to get that rust out of the way. And if he the discussion here, the rhetorical discussion is going on about if Tyson Fury comes back looking like the same Tyson Fury. And that's my question. If he comes out looking like the old Tyson Fury, does he beat everybody, or would you favor him over everybody in the heavyweight division right now?
Absolutely.
You're talking about looking, but what's he thinking? What's his motivation now? Is his motivation spite? Does he want to stop other people becoming unified champion? Because he's already done it, hasn't he? He's been there, he's done it, and he left because he was depressed. Why has he come back? Why has he come back? I don't understand it. I don't.
Well,
he's an athlete.
When you're a fighter, when you're a fighter, that's all you know. There's a buzz that a fighter gets that he gets in the ring that no drugs will ever replace. Fighters, that's why they don't know when to quit. A lot of them hang around till they become fucking journeymen and get knocked out all the time.
It's kind of like a soldier when they leave the military. They become war junkies. Like just keep on firing fucking bullets and shit.
Exactly.
I expect him to come back as a journeyman or champion.
I'm just saying, fighters. When they've when you're a fighter, that's all you want to do. I mean, like I said, when you've got millions in the bank, what makes you want to get up in the morning and run 6 miles and train every day? I mean, you've got to be dedicated to this. This gives you that no.
Come on,
no
guys.
other will give you.
Money. Tyson Fury, when he dropped that IBF belt, he said that he's only interested in money fights. That's what he said. Let's keep it real. He's in the game for the money, millions and millions of pounds.
That's what would make another.
My point is, the guy's a fighter. The guy's a fighter, and that's all he knows what to do. That's all he knows to do. I mean, it's
I'm sure he enjoys it. No doubt about it. He enjoys it. I'm not disputing that, but I think the motivation is ultimately money.
He said numerous times. That if he's not in the gym, he gets depressed. So like Stu said, it's all he knows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I just checked. Deontay Wilder dropped about 15 pounds. It took him a while, but he's been slowly dropping weight. And Roy only dropped 9, by the way, 9 pounds.
Well, we don't know about that. We don't know about that, man.
You sure it was 9 pounds?
9 pounds.
Because
Deontay Wilder lost that.
Remember,
he lost that weight.
Roy was scheduled to fight Corey Sanders.
Why is Jones Jr. even being brought up in his conversation?
Right when Corey Sanders got. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No Roy Jones Jr., please.
No more Roy Jones Jr.
I was going to say because I remember that time.
I think Wilder lost that weight because he was very top heavy. I don't think his legs could hold the weight of, because he's a quite a big muscly guy from the top. But when you look at his legs, it's like fucking olive oil, isn't it, from Popeye, man? Do you know what I mean? His legs is just too top heavy. I think that's why he's having to lose some of that weight.
So you're bang on with your comparisons, by the way, mate.
I got a question.
The weight loss, the point I'm trying to make is that weight loss is a good thing because your body turns it into energy. Unless you're going down to Auschwitz levels, obviously that's not good. But if you're going down to like your natural level or a healthy level, it could only be a good thing. I don't see why people turn it into like a negative when your body turns the fat and the muscle into energy.
So if you're losing muscle, it's a good thing, you're saying?
I mean, if you
have lots of muscle to lose, yeah. If you have a lot of, like, especially if you put it on artificially, which is what a lot of these fighters do.
How much, like all the muscle that Roy Jones lost from the Ruiz fight till the Tarver fight? How long was that period of time?
That was 8 months.
Is that enough? I don't know. I'm not an expert, so I'm just asking. Like, is that enough time? Is that normal?
It was about.
Dude, if you have
cortisone,
dude, if you have all the substances, all the drugs known to man available to you, you could do that in a week.
Without any negative consequences?
Look, I think Roy was scared of Tarver. I was the biggest Roy Jones fan. I'm just gonna say this in his defense, and because I remember that time pretty well. When I look back, Roy Jones was scared of Tarver. Always was. Now
it was his man, though.
No, he was always afraid of him. He was just there was something about Tarver's style that bothered him, and he knew it was going to be a problem. Right? He'll never admit it, but you could kind of go back in time and see that he ducked that fight several times.
Do you guys think?
But
do you guys think
he did lose weight kind of fast, and that was his fault. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because he was supposed to fight Corey Sanders, knowing that Don King, he won the WBA belt from John Ruiz, right?
Mm-hmm.
And John Ruiz and Don King, I guess they wanted to work with Roy, or rather, Don King wanted to work with Roy again, and Roy wanted to take another route, fight Corey Sanders, right? And it was actually signed for them to fight, and then they stripped Roy of the WBA belt because the WBA mandated that he fight Ruiz again. So he was left without an opponent. I don't think he was ever going to fight Corey Sanders, to be honest with you. But
he was talking about fighting Tyson and Holyfield at the time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I remember Holyfield losing to James Toney around that same time of the year. Maybe let's say that was 2003, somewhere in September or October. And if Roy was there, if you look at Roy's size, dude, he was like about 195, all muscles. Okay.
How did we get back into Roy?
Oh, no.
Precise.
I just wanted to point out that I think.
Come on, lads. Come on, fellas.
He lost more weight than 9 pounds. I think in a 2-month period, he might have lost at least 20 pounds.
He looked pretty fucking big against Ruiz, man.
He was 200 pounds in the ring versus
205, I think.
Ruiz.
We talk about something that's actually relevant in today's boxing.
But he was ducking Tarver.
Yeah,
talking about Roy Jones.
People want to talk about putting muscle on, but no one really mentions Evander Holyfield. I mean, look at the cruiserweight version of Evander Holyfield, and then look at the heavyweight version. I mean, he's double the fucking size.
You look
man.
like the Hulk. But the only point
Yeah.
I wanted to make is that like there's a lot of misconceptions and double standards. Losing, if you put on muscle artificially, right? You put on a lot of muscle. Losing it is, and if you do it right, especially, it's not gonna hurt you. And these top level athletes, they hire the best nutritionists and sports conditioning people, and they use all kinds of substances to do it correctly, legal or not. That's not important. That's just what they do. And I just feel like this whole losing weight thing is completely misunderstood by a lot of boxing fans.
With this muscle, right? I just don't get it with a lot of fighters why they want to look like fucking the Incredible Hulk. I mean, when you look at Joe Calzaghe, right? The guy, if you saw the guy in the street, you'd think he was nothing. There's nothing to the guy, but fucking
look at Sergey Kovalev. I mean, he looks like,
who remembers Joe Calzaghe though?
What?
I want to say
What?
this
Who
podcast,
remembers?
most underrated fighter on this podcast and the
Oh,
most
God.
underrated.
Hold on, one at a time, one at a
Hang
time, one at a
on a
time.
minute here. Hang on a minute here. Did I just hear who remembers Joe Calzaghe?
Greatest British boxer in history.
I'm asking about casual people
he's
that
not.
pay money to watch boxing. Who thinks of Joe Calzaghe? Does he
But
have
the
anything
point the point was that like if you look at someone like Sergey Kovalev, like the guy he's not very muscular, he's kind of weird looking, whatever, but he hits harder than anybody else in the division, you know what I mean?
There's a reason Joshua and Wilder are selling and more popular amongst casuals, guys.
It's
That's
the
why
looks.
this
Yeah,
bodybuilding
exactly.
look
It's like
sells.
wrestling. Fuck, it's like WWE wrestling, you know? All these
I
voted
agree
out
with that.
motherfuckers, yeah.
No, I actually agree
All
with that.
I think that's why
That's
Joshua pumped
homosexuality.
himself up like that. I think that's one of the reasons why Joshua and maybe Dubois even, it's for marketability's sake, because
all
it does
those
not help them in the
pictures.
ring. It doesn't help them in the ring at all.
I'm not saying it's good for boxing, and I know that Calzaghe is a great fighter, but I'm just saying people don't remember him because, like you guys are saying, like he didn't have that physique and all
Well,
that.
he didn't fight in
I
the
got
US a
you.
lot also. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why Calzaghe, some people feel he's underrated, right?
Oh, Calzaghe was a fantastic fight.
Calzaghe is massively underrated. Calzaghe is incredible.
This guy threw 1,000 punches a fight, right, from all angles. He could switch stances. He was quick. He had a chin of iron. I mean, the guy had an engine that was fucking one of the best engines in boxing. I mean, the guy just had everything.
His biggest problem was he was Welsh.
His punching power lacked a little bit because of his hand wraps. He used to wrap his own hands, and he didn't do it properly. He didn't know how to wrap hands properly, and he used to wrap his own hands, and he used to get a lot of injuries, and that's why he started to slap a lot. But this guy was a fantastic fighter.
Now let me ask you this: who wins in a coke-off? Joe Calzaghe, Ricky Hatton, or Tyson Fury?
Oh, Fury every day of the week, mate.
Because of the size?
No, because of his voice. He's got nothing to lose, has he?
You see, true.
He's got no titles left.
Was that?
Calzaghe was hanging out with travelers, no?
I heard that and sniffed a big fat line and then beat the shit out of his dad.
Jeez.
Doesn't everybody snort cocaine in the UK? Well, like almost everybody. Isn't it like having a beer?
Every celebrity.
It's
like
true, huh?
It's like having a beer, you know.
Well, England's quite a depressing place. The weather's shite. It's dull and gloomy, so everyone needs a little booster now and again, don't they?
Hey, what's worse?
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
What's worse in England? What's worse?
To be honest with you, I don't take the stuff. I've done it before when I was a youngster, but I don't take it now. But a lot of people do.
Stu, this is a question. Hold on, one at a time. Stu, this is a question. This is a question for Stu. What's worse in England, the weather or the internet connection?
Damn.
I guess he didn't hear me. We'll just put that one aside. All right.
What did you say?
No, I asked a joke question. Don't worry about it. Look, people are mentioning, what if Usyk beats Gassiev and then moves up to heavyweight? Does that spice the division up even more?
We spoke about this for half hour on the other show, what, a week ago, State?
I didn't hear what you.
Question, man.
I didn't hear what you.
We've got enough to deal with in heavyweight as it is. Why do we need to bring Usyk into it?
Because that's what we do over here. Greg, let me tell you something. This is the first time you're on the show. You're not going to tell us how to run it. This is what we do with BDA Boxing. we populate the conversation until it gets oversaturated and it explodes into something else. That's what we're trying to. We're adding fuel to the fire.
We're on an explosion.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is the problem.
I think Usyk threatens a lot of UK boxing fans. I think they're scared of him, just on the low.
Nah, it's not that. It's that the fact Usyk's got a fight, a very hard fight. Usyk's got a very hard fight in front of him, and yet again, boxing fans are pushing fights and pushing guys to move up before they've even dealt with the guy that's in front of them next. And, you know, we need to calm down a little bit here. Let's see how we
lose or draw. Both of them are moving up.
I think Gassiev beats Usyk. That's my opinion.
I hope so.
Yeah. He catches
Anybody
Usyk
want to
on the way
bet?
out.
Anybody want to bet? I'm ready, willing. I'll even give you the odds, and I'm talking about money here.
We did want to bet with you. He was on the chat last time.
Man, that dude ain't shit. Tell him to come on the show. Sniping from the chat room is for fucking Hamed.
Oh boy, here's another shot at.
Oh god.
I think Usyk's a sort of fighter that the bigger the danger in front of him, the better he fights. I think we're going to see the best of Usyk in there. I really do.
100%.
No, but it's a good point. It's a good point. He's got a fucking tough fight in front of him, no doubt about it. Let's see what happens. But you know, so does Fury, and here we are talking about him. I just looked on Boxing Scene, and since he announced his comeback, there are like 4 articles all about Tyson Fury. Jesus Christ.
He's a big name.
He's a G. The man's a G, man.
There's nothing better to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Jarrett Hurd fighting fucking someone else? I mean, no.
What about Jarrett Hurd v Tyson Fury?
Oh, come on.
Well, Jarrett Hurd's an
He'll beat
heavyweight.
He would beat
Let's be
Miguel.
real, Jarrett Hurd is.
Yeah, he would.
I got my money on Hurd if he ever fought Miguel by knockout.
Well,
Andrew Ward.
Remember when Golovkin was avoiding DeGale?
Oh,
and Lara, don't forget Lara.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That was the worst one, man. Golovkin avoiding Lara. The people were saying that.
Oh god.
What about Lomachenko on her shoulders fighting Fury?
Like, Lara ain't nothing. So why does he deserve the shot even?
No. We're just joking. It's just a joke. Nobody here thinks that.
No, not here. I'm talking. You know who I'm talking about, Precise. You've seen this video.
Yep.
Golovkin. Can you imagine what Golovkin would do to DeGale? Oh god.
Well, all I'm gonna say is that there's a certain sense of entitlement that comes with slickness.
We're not supposed to use that wording here, man.
Oh, my bad.
Politically correct.
No slickness. No slickness.
Oh, where's X, by the way? I gotta holler at that incognito. Where's he at?
I don't know. I know he's on the chat talking. It's like kick Stu off, kick recognize off. He's going crazy.
I know we're clowning now, but genuinely, where do we see Golovkin in top 10 heavy middleweights? Sorry. Because I saw on chat yesterday that people wouldn't even put in the top 10 heavyweight middleweights.
It should be top 10 middleweight. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Besides getting called a white supremacist in the chat quite a few times tonight.
Do you know why? Because I called Mexican incognito.
No, because you like his European fights too much.
The fucker never shows his face. He's an incognito. Get over it.
No, they were saying that someone's been saying it for the last 40 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think that's a troll. I think that's a troll in the chat room.
Why would I care, Cameron? Why would I care? Why would I care? Why?
This annoyed me yesterday, show, because I genuinely think Golovkin...
Hold on. One at a time, because we're talking over each other here.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man. Sorry.
I was just going to say, it's probably nationality precise. That's the way they think you're racist.
I don't give a fuck what they think. They never say it to my face, so fuck them.
That is indeed true.
What your face looks like, man.
Well,
they need to go to the jungle.
Or on here. How about on here?
Yeah. They don't jump in. They don't jump in. So who cares? There was this guy Clarence. He never jumped in. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll jump in later," and then he never contacted us.
Do you guys care if I try getting some of them on, like BDA? Do you think like if I invite them, you would let them?
If you could, yeah. But
no, if they want to come, they tell us. We don't know. We're not gonna go search for these people. Like,
no, man, I talk with them sometimes too. Like some of them are.
Hamid was the best one last night. He was ripping into Precise, and he was like, "I can't come on because it's too late." But he was still in the chat for an hour after it.
He's a coward. The guy's a coward. And he breathes through his mouth. Come on, man.
The young ones will show up, though. The young ones are open to debate, but the older guys won't. But the young kids that are into it, they'll debate us, dude. They're kind of open to it because they're not stupid like the mainstream kind of LDBC. But the
debate us about what? What are we saying that's so controversial? I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what we're saying that's controversial.
If you want to talk about controversial, how come Anthony Joshua got a pass for the superior race comment? So that's what I want.
Yeah.
How come?
There you go. I mean, that's the topic they'll defend.
No, because somebody hacked his account.
No.
It was X hacked his account.
Come on. We all know. Let's not pretend.
Hold on.
He
said it.
I put a tweet up about that.
I've got a guy here that he's always he watches this show and he's always commenting about me, and every time I make a comment he's like, "Oh, well, you got it wrong, Stu. Can you remember Errol Spence, Kell Brook? You said Brook was going to win." He throws it in my face.
Oh yeah, every day.
Every time I make a comment, I could talk about Butterbean. Oh well, you got Errol Spence, Kell Brook wrong. Remember that one?
Nice way to change the topic, Stu. Good one. So since we're talking about the heavyweight division, look, Tyson Fury gets criticized like crazy for all the controversial comments that he makes. Anthony,
hold on. One at a time, please.
I was just kidding.
Let's talk about Roy Jones.
Roy Jones. How is it? No, come on now. I want to know.
Big joke, don't you?
From the UK. I want to know how is it that Tyson Fury gets criticized for being traditional and saying that women should go in the kitchen or whatever? And then Anthony, let me finish. And then Anthony Joshua talks about the superior race, right? A little Hitler over there.
Because one's caught on camera
and this shit gets swept under the rug. Why is that?
Photoshop.
Let's be real. England has become the correct mess. If you're a white conservative heterosexual male, then you're going to get attacked from all angles, and it's a liberal cesspit. That's what.
Well, you can run through the streets of London screaming jihad and stabbing the shit out of people, and shit happens.
You know why, Precise?
Huh?
You know why? Because Islam will fuck shit up if you say anything, and then the British people are scared.
I said on Twitter earlier on, because obviously
they have Wahhabis there, but that's a different topic.
There was a reporter who interviewed Fury at the press conference, and he was
taking a piss.
No, that was me washing my dishes. Sorry.
Somebody was interviewing Fury at the press conference today.
Hold on, one at a time, please. One at a time. Cameron, go ahead. Cameron.
So somebody was interviewing Fury at the press conference today, and they were bringing up about his comments before about homophobia and everything like that, and he was saying no comment, and I put a tweet out afterwards saying, why weren't these same reporters who were questioning Fury's comments, why weren't they questioning that Joshua and Joseph Parker press conference about his superior race comment? I mean, the double standards in the media in Britain is horrendous.
Because they want to fuck Joshua, innit? Because they're like homosexuals and blind fangirls.
Fucking ask the questions. Do your job properly. Be a journalist. Ask the questions that people want to know.
Did you see that? Fake? Well, then he could say that, right? He could say my account was hacked. I never said that. If indeed that's what happened, like it wasn't addressed at all.
Yeah, but just ask him, man. See his body language. See how he reacts to it.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly. According to Eddie Chambers, man, Eddie Chambers said, "Dude, he just attacked me. I don't know what I did to him. He just came at me and said."
There's a video out there of Brazil's coach or somebody, and they're on Instagram on their phone, and you could clearly see that it's not Photoshop. It's his Instagram account. You know what I mean?
Dillian White told us about Anthony Joshua a long time ago. He told us he's fake. He told us he's a piece of shit. And And that's it.
He
So
did.
it's no surprise to me that comment. I mean, the thing is, I'm a grown-ass man. I let comments like that ride. It's not important. But I know for a fact, if Tyson Fury had said it, then, oh my God, we'd never hear the last of it.
Oh, yeah, whites of superior race. Imagine you said that. Oh my goodness.
Look, when they ask Izu Ugono, right? He's Nigerian too, I believe, or his parents are, just like Joshua. When they ask
He's
him
Polish,
about
isn't he?
his nationality, he says he's Polish, 100%. That's what I am.
He is
When
Polish, though.
Anthony Joshua's got a tattoo of fucking Africa and talks about superior race and you know, I don't know,
Well,
man. I don't
It's
know.
because he's loved. Like, I remember I was working at a bar once. I was watching Joshua versus Klitschko, and God, the fans were absolutely madness. Especially the women. They were just like literally drooling over him. I was like, oh, okay.
I understand that. I just don't get why like people would hate Tyson Fury. By contrast, that's all I'm saying. Anthony Joshua comes across as a very likable guy. I get it, but like to me, Tyson Fury is, to me, he's no different. Basically,
He's not likable. He panders to people. That's what's successful. Like Fury just tells it like it is, and then everyone gets threatened.
Anybody can say the right things and be liked by people. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Mate, you can say whatever you want.
You know, the old
like
be humble. The old hashtag be humble and all that. Like that, you know, that is them sound bites are always going to work. Tyson Fury, he's the guy that I respect because he speaks from the heart. He's not fake. What you see is what you get, and I like people like that.
You don't like Mike Tyson saying he'd fuck another man in the ass. That kind of personality. I quite like that kind of personality. I do. Personally.
Is that what you're into?
Tyson said that at Paul Lewis. I'll fuck you, bitch. I'll make you my bitch.
I make you love me, you little bitch, or something like that.
Little faggot.
Hey, let's be real.
I only get interviewed by men.
If he did that now, man, could you imagine the backlash now in this social media age if he did that now? That was now. Fuck's sake.
Oh.
Hey, let's be real. Mike Tyson, right? If you look at it, if you look through the history of boxing, Mike Tyson is probably one of the biggest pieces of shit ever to grace a boxing ring. And
That's I love it. I might agree with Stu on that.
I want in my ring. I want that in the ring. I want a piece of shit to punch another piece of shit in the head.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was really, especially some of the shit he committed when he was young. Now, again, I know some people are going to excuse that and say, well, he was young.
Well,
yeah, but...
Well, because he was young, he had no parents at all, like no guidance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men there's a lot of people out there that haven't got parents.
Okay, hold on. So there's a lot of background noise.
I think a rocket is just launched in the
exactly, yeah. Somebody
is that you?
Who is that in the back?
Mike Tyson.
I think somebody let a bomb out over here.
All right, so all right, but hold on. No, nobody heard that. Nobody. Okay, sorry, Stu, you were saying?
Stu got run over by a bus.
I can't remember now. Look, it put me off, innit?
Yeah,
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. What's worse? What's worse? Anything Mike Tyson did, or that comment from Joshua?
Tyson.
Mike Tyson's way worse. Way worse.
Joshua. Because Joshua got away with it. Mike Tyson still got arrested, didn't he?
Oh, God.
Mike Tyson joined the Nation of Islam and shit like that, didn't he?
Yeah, but...
yeah, he was in prison. He was in jail.
All I can hear is the fucking subscriber song in the background as well.
Yeah, that's the last thing we need right now, BDA. I mean, Bucho, stop.
Oh, dear me.
All right, so where are we at? Mike Tyson being a hoodlum when he was young, and didn't I in his autobiography he said one time he went jogging, he took his shirt off and he went jogging around Las Vegas because he was high, and then he vaguely remembers a fan stopping him for an autograph, and I think Mike Tyson just beat the shit out of him and then continued running. That's in his autobiography. So
that sounds like Tyson.
Yeah,
I don't really believe that in Nevada. Don't they have like a right to carry a gun and just shoot whoever the fuck fucks with them?
I don't know about that.
Not at this age. Like,
No, that's
gun
a
rights
fact.
are seen
Honestly, in
as
Nevada, if someone pushes you or something, you could just shoot them, dude.
Where the fuck did you hear that?
The backlash you get from that in this age.
What Floyd Mayweather, man? Floyd Mayweather's SUV got shot the other day, didn't he? Someone tried killing him. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, we haven't brought that up.
I think X has something
he
to do
owes
with
money. This guy's broke, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Mayweather,
X has something to do
He's
with that.
betting a lot of money and shit.
they recognize.
You think so?
Well, not broke, but he owes
When you
money.
break it down, right?
Okay.
When you
That was a
break
very
That's why I don't
sad
believe that
story, by
Tyson
the
shit,
way.
dude.
Hold on a second. Everybody's talking.
Let's do
Everyone's
yeah,
everyone's talking over each other. Hold on a second. We got to get some order in here.
Is that okay, guys?
Foulpool Boxing
The
is
thing is
saying.
with Floyd Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
The thing is with Floyd Mayweather, who wants to kill Floyd Mayweather? Well, there's 7 billion people on the planet. 7 billion people want to kill Floyd Mayweather. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's bound to happen. Floyd has ruffled a lot of feathers. I don't agree with it. I don't think Floyd's a bad guy, really. I just think it's a lot of it's a show. I don't think he's very intelligent. He's just a great fighter, but I think that's half the problem with Floyd.
No,
I don't
bro,
think he's a bad guy.
he's a piece of shit. Come on, let's keep it real. Tyson talked about it. He actually did it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
come on.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Tyson.
This is serious shit, though, man. I mean, we're talking about a guy, somebody who's trying to do a 2-pack on him, man. I mean, this is serious shit.
I was very sad when I heard that story, man.
I heard people say conspiracy stuff like that shit was probably staged, just like the McGregor shit was staged. Like it's not really real or something.
Hey, we know this guy likes attention. So.
Mayweather loves attention, so I wouldn't put it
past. There's a reason.
Imagine Floyd's bodyguard.
There's a reason Floyd.
He's talking to the other guy. Okay, so this is how it's gonna go down. You shoot me in the leg, then I go down.
For some reason, Floyd, whenever something's going on anywhere in boxing or MMA, that dude's all of a sudden in the news, dude. You guys ever notice that?
Yeah, he's always trying to
he's like a
grab the
Kardashian
spotlight.
and shit.
It's got to a point now where Floyd's saying to one of his bodyguards, look, here's some money. I need to get back in the news. So let this guy shoot you, put him in hospital, and so I can get back in the headlines.
He'll say things. I think Mayweather's smart too. He'll say things to piss his fans off too. He does, man.
He said he likes Trump now, so that pissed a lot of fans off.
You got it.
You got it. You see 78's video on that. That was fucking
Time to
hilarious.
make friends with the white people, man.
So many people.
Trump's cut the taxes, man.
And he follows social media. He follows social media. He knows that most of his fan base love Wilder, and he's like on AJ's side.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
That's beautiful.
That's like trolling at his best to me. I mean, he's an ass and all that, but I think some of his a lot of his stuff is pretty smart if you look into it.
He's a tragedy in the making, man. Mayweather's a tragedy in the making.
He's like.
It's not going to end well for him, man. It's just when you
I think of Wilder, yeah.
All these people, all these like celebrities that go deep into gambling, they get done, man. He's gonna get fucked.
If I go down on this one, I'm taking everybody with me.
Like Michael Jordan's dad, you guys remember? Michael Jordan allegedly had all kinds of gambling debts and shit. And the conspiracy theory is that they went after his pops.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that in Second Renaissance? I think I asked that question.
I wasn't there, but maybe.
Yeah, because that's what I
think
heard.
if Wilder breaks that 50-0 record at some point, like if he just fights bums, do you think Floyd will like flip out and like fucking start calling out Wilder or some shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see the Hickey retires.
he'll Floyd could just fight McGregor again.
Wilder would choke
Anyone
him
with a
out.
brain, they'll look at Wilder's resume and then look at not comparable. I mean, you know,
I mean that's not even that's not even comparable.
Floyd would personally kill Wilder and go to jail, but he wouldn't care. He's like, at least I have my record.
Send a hit on him.
And by the way, I got a question from the audience here. Some people are saying, is Mayweather addicted to gambling, or is that part of the shtick?
No, he's definitely addicted. He's definitely addicted to gambling. The guy has got a serious. Even 50 Cent said it. I mean, this guy, I know he's got a lot of. I know he's got a lot of you know, he's got a lot of stuff in that, but in the bank, the money in the bank, I don't think he's as rich as people think he is. He blows money left, right, and centre. I mean, I watched him put 200 grand on the fucking Boston fucking Red Sox games or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean, this guy's got a serious habit, and when you've got a habit like that,
go back,
and you spend. I mean, the guy's got 4 Bugattis. Why would you? This guy has got habits, and that's his barrel.
All right, from what I understand, you're upset.
Just go back and watch the the HBO face-off with him and Cotto. He pulls out his fucking iPad and he's got something like 150 grand put on a college game.
Right,
checking the game.
Yeah, can you remember that Miss Jackson? Right, I watched one where they went in a shop and he said to Miss Taylor shoes, right, and she's come back with 2 pairs, isn't it?
That's a lot of spending.
25 grand a piece.
All right.
Hey, BDA, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Hey, like in Vegas, like if you bet on sporting events over $10,000 a game and things like that, if you're a high roller, you're not allowed to be in contact with any professional athletes. So how's Mayweather getting away with being around pro athletes and he bets that high?
Very good point.
Interesting.
That's why it might be part of.
He's getting away with it because he's getting away with it because he's losing all this money. That's why he's getting away with it.
Yeah, exactly. They love it.
No, I'm not kidding, man. Like, come on. Can you imagine how much money he loses betting on basketball? Like, how do you predict that shit?
I think you can't bet on your own sport.
What did you say? You're breaking up.
I don't think you can
bet on your own sport.
Like they'll ban you from Vegas if like let's say you're betting a lot of money like on the New York Giants and then you're hanging out with Beckham and they find out, they'll ban you, dude.
That's what
I think about
Floyd. I think this is what I think this thing about Floyd fighting in MMA is legit. Because I feel like with enough money on the table, man, he'll do anything. I think we'll see Floyd fight again more than once.
Yeah,
let me ask you
with
this.
special rules, as they say, but still, you're fighting in another sport. It's weird.
He'll get paid a lot of money. He's going to do that 100%. If he's not that, he'll fight in the boxing league again.
Now let me ask you.
That red hat he's wearing all these lately. See that red hat? Like, what the fuck is that about?
I heard Big Show wants a rematch too.
Man.
Now here's my question: if Floyd is betting all this money, what are the chances that we end up seeing him shooting a concert from his hotel room in the nearby future? Is that a possibility or?
Yeah.
Was that shooting from a hotel room or shooting?
Yeah, he's on about the Las Vegas concert shooting, kind of comparing that.
The multiple shooters, yeah.
Multiple shooters. Now wait a minute.
I heard.
We should do a second renaissance on that.
Yeah, we second renaissance in now and saying that Floyd was a suspect.
Floyd was a suspect.
Oh man!
I heard this. Hey, whoever said, I heard the same thing. I heard he was a suspect.
Think about Tower 5, fellas. Think about
Floyd.
Vegas.
I tell you something.
Floyd actually lives. I think Floyd actually lives in the penthouse. I think he spends most of his time there. I think.
I think
Floyd gets all that money that they always report for these fights. Oh, I make $300 million a fight. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're making $300.
You know Al Heyman.
But you remember when
Al Heyman gets a big chunk of that, and if you've seen those Al Heyman contracts, he makes whenever you make a penny, he gets a portion of that. It doesn't matter where you make your money, he always gets a cut.
It's like 33% or something high.
Jeez, 30%.
Yeah, it's on stage, and he was fighting the MMA fella. What's his name? McGregor, and he pulls out his bag and he goes, "I've got a backpack on the stage here." And he opens up this big backpack and he pulls out a tiny little fucking check. I can write a check that says any amount of money on it, and it doesn't mean shit all. But Mayweather was doing that. I was expecting to see a bag full of cash, and we didn't see shit all.
That's right, big bag for a small check. But then again, he might be overcompensating for something else. I don't know. Look,
who the fuck writes checks these days?
That's a good point.
Somebody said a few weeks ago. Somebody that owed me money was like, "Do you want a check or do you want it paid into your bank?" What the fuck do you think?
I want it paid in from an AR-15 from the top of a hotel in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh man.
You think a boxer will ever fight for Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency or something?
That shit's going down from what I
Floyd
hear.
will probably, but
That shit's dying, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's dying.
Nah, old fellas, it's staying hold.
What'd you say? I didn't quite catch it.
Hold on to that Bitcoin. It's going up, honestly. Believe me.
It really is. Burst again. It's going to go up and burst. It's going to be worthless.
It's going to hit 40,000. Trust me, just buy from me. Trust me.
It won't. It really won't.
I think the system's going to try to get in on it. Is what they're going to try to do is infiltrate it. You know. But,
Don't
you know,
listen to anybody else. Just come see Greg.
Trust me, do not buy it at all.
Well, a lot of people dropped off the connection. I think the bankers are onto
I told you this would happen. I told you this would happen.
I think, yeah, you did say that. I think the bankers got a whiff of the conversation here.
But it's Floyd Mayweather, man. Floyd Mayweather's doing something about this.
Or maybe X had something to do with it.
The thing about Floyd, yeah.
Yeah, I think X did.
Why would any man want fucking 4 Bugattis? I mean, there's just no, just one would be enough. Why would this guy, man? I mean, it's
secure.
Why do people want to wear gold chains?
Drive one with each limb.
Why would you want to wear that fucking shitty ass red hat he's wearing?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Let's stop.
He looks like a little leprechaun. Checks in a backpack. He looks like a little leprechaun. Yeah, he does.
Imagine
like a kid, man.
Imagine Paulie Malignaggi dressed like that. Imagine if Paulie Malignaggi dressed like that, and he went walking around all spastic.
I do dress like that.
Oh man. All right. Well, listen. This whole thing about Mayweather gambling, I think we've covered it before. It's bizarre that he's spending all. See, when somebody has a compulsion like that, whether it's drinking alcohol, doing drugs, gambling, being involved in porn shoots like I used to be, it really does say something about your state of mind. Now,
I didn't realise Yusuf Mack was hosting the BDA podcast.
Was that? I didn't hear the question.
I said I didn't realise Yusuf Mack was hosting the podcast.
Hey, now wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I'm not gonna stand for that type of talk around here. Let me tell you that much right now, all right? Second of all, I mean, look, I think we covered everything about Tyson Fury. I don't think anybody has more to say about that. We only have to wait and see what he does, and until then, it's a mystery. Second thing is this. Was that?
Yep, second renaissance.
Oh, you want to get into some second renaissance shit? All right, here's my question to you. People talk about, because we were talking about Joshua and Wilder and the financial aspect of the fight, you know, being offered pay-per-view points and all that. I was reading, and I think I mentioned this before, about how Hollywood, in the Hollywood industry, they give actors back-end points, meaning they pay you like a 10 million flat fee, but they also give you those back-end points, meaning how a certain percentage of the box office. But from what I read, I think that when you know the movie Coming to America, essentially it had been written by an old guy, and he had submitted a spec script to the studio, and it had been rejected. And then all of a sudden, the same treatment that he had offered got made into Coming to America. So he sued them. He sued the studio, and the books were open, and it came out that apparently the movie officially did make a profit, according to the books showed in court. Which means, my question is this: how bad do boxers get screwed when it comes to pay-per-view numbers? Because really, if you think about it, all the promoter has to do is hire an accountant to move around a couple of numbers and make it seem as if they're not winning any money, as if they're not making any money from the box office. So how bad are fighters getting screwed? Because we know they get screwed, right? But sometimes we forget.
How many college-educated boxers are there?
Exactly. That's my point. So, like, who? Because you look at Pacquiao, right? For example, and some people said that he was. I think it was Michael Kons that was saying, or not Michael Kons, who was saying that Pacquiao wasn't getting paid what he deserved by Top Rank. I think it was Mayweather. I don't know if he was fanning the flames or whatever.
78 Sports.
Well, that too. But then De La Hoya also was dissatisfied with the way Top Rank was handling him near the end of his career. So was Mayweather. So how bad are these guys getting screwed? How bad would you estimate? Because we don't have any numbers.
I wouldn't be surprised if they really make like 30% of what they. Like the best case scenario is they probably come with 30% of the reported purse that they were supposed to be given. I wouldn't be surprised.
30%. So that's your.
It's like any job, bro. You know, you could be a plumber and you could work for a company. They could send you to a job, and you're getting your basic standard fee, and that's it. This is how the world works, man. I know sometimes it's not fair, and if you're a powerhouse in boxing, like Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Manny Pacquiao. He is stupid. I don't think he's got a business brain on his head, because he would have got rid of a long time ago and signed a deal with promotions, but he didn't. He off a lot of money. But Manny Pacquiao has still made multi-million pounds, hundreds of millions of dollars. So at the end of the day, us guys here sitting there, we're going to work for fucking peanuts, and then we're sitting there complaining about millionaires not getting more millions.
That's
exactly. I don't care what they make. Honestly, it's like. These guys make so much money that even if they're getting ripped off 70% of their purse, they're still coming out with a lot of money. I mean, if Pacquiao made, let's say they say Pacquiao has made, I think it was like 300 million or 400 million throughout his career, right? I may be off on that, but let's just say around that number. If he's getting 30% of that, he's still filthy rich.
That's a good point. I mean,
he's still filthy rich. He's got more money than most people will have in their whole lifetime put together.
Yeah, my biggest issue, and this comes up with like the was it 12.5 million they offered Wilder?
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's look at it like this. Yeah, £12 million.
Yeah.
Lamont fought Amir Khan. $1,000 to fight Amir Khan. So we can't complain about millions of dollars here.
Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be complaining about. I mean, I was just asking the question because people said
600,000. Lamar Peterson got right.
$30,000.
Let's say he got 30. Let's say he got 30% of that.
Right.
I mean, that's shit. That's most of them people making 10 years.
Well, here's where my complaint comes in. Why two fighters go into a ring and they have to split the purse 30-70 or whatever? Why can't it, if two fighters go in a ring and they're going to slug it out or dance around each other, why can't it be 50-50 each? Ignore the promoter shares or however much of a crowd they draw. Why shouldn't it be 50-50 for the fighters anyway? I've always found that a bit odd.
Why can't it be like winner take all?
Winner take all, a bit too wild. I think they deserve something to go do.
Nah, fuck that. I don't get paid nothing when I lose my poker games.
that's right.
That's because he's got a gambling kid.
And so's boxing.
Gambling with your life.
That's why boxing. I don't mean to cut anybody off. That's why boxing, what you see in the ring, could be very unpredictable and even to the point where you have to question it. Because remember, these guys, you know, it's easy to say to go up to someone and say, "Hey, listen, you know, another $200K if you know let my boy win." You know, or take it easy on him. You know, here's $200K. Like, shit, we can all sit here and say what we would do. Oh, I wouldn't take it. But you see 200,000 in your face, man. It's a different ballgame, you know.
It's not just the corruption, but it's like you build fighters up, don't you? You give them 20 fights against bums, and you can build them up and say, "Oh, he's the A side now, so stick him in the ring, and he can take 80% off your fighter."
Let me ask you guys a question.
Eddie Hearn will not sign fighters that can't sell tickets. Eddie Hearn will not. He will not sign fighters that can't sell tickets. His fighters have to be able to sell tickets, their own tickets, or he's not interested. And that's just how it goes. You got to have a backing in boxing.
But I don't understand the process of how does fighting 20 bums make him all of a sudden be able to sell tickets? Surely he's going to Sky Sports and saying, "This guy's shit hot. Stick him on TV. He'll be great." And then they go, "Okay."
Listen, Josh Warrington. Josh got about 3 knockouts in about 28 fights. Yeah, he's got 30,000 will turn up in a stadium to watch the guy.
I think it's about pride in their own fighter from where they come from. So Josh Warrington, for example, from Leeds, they didn't really have much fighters or anything going for them, so they just get really excited.
Exactly.
So do you reckon then after that point it's justified that the fighter takes the bigger purse in the ring?
The fighter does take the big. Anthony Joshua is taking the bigger slice of the pie.
Yeah.
It is.
And you know, people were talking about money and all that. That's all right. You know, it's high stakes. But if you're not playing with your life, in other words, if you're not playing Russian roulette, you're a fucking idiot, man. You're a pussy in my eyes. You should be putting it on the line. So these people, the way I see it, if they're not doing 60-40, at least winner take the 60%, then I don't want to talk to them. I don't respect them. Let's just put it that way. Now, when it comes to when it comes to this whole thing about the flat fee and promoting, everybody wants to see somebody that entertains. And when it comes to a guy like, I don't want to mention any names again because I've already beat them down enough, but guys that say, I don't want to take a risk because if I do take a risk and I end up brain dead, who's going to take care of me when the career is over? That's fine. But if you want to get paid, you're not going to get paid by running around the ring, throwing 3 shots at a time. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. I sympathize with boxers, the fact that they're stepping in there and taking a risk. But if you're already taking that risk, throw a combination at least or something, you know? I'm not saying you have to fight like Brandon Rios, but for Pete's sakes, try to throw some...
If you don't like it, don't become a boxer, man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was going to say that, Bucho. Thank you, man. I was going to say, it's like, who's putting if somebody's literally putting a gun to their head and say, listen, I need you to get in the ring and box or I'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Then I understand, you know. But if you're doing it in your own choice, you're making your own choice. You say, you know, I'm talented. I put a lot of work into this. I can beat up the average citizen with no problem, you know. I want to put that in there and fight guys like me that have the kind of, you know, skill set that can give me a challenge, and I want to make some money off of it. Then for you to say, you know, well, change your mindset and say, oh, you know, I deserve X amount of money because, you know, I'm putting my life at risk. It's like, it's just such a oxymoron.
I guess the way I'm looking at it is like you enforce a union on boxing, say both fighters step into the ring, they need to get 50%. So that's enforced all the time. So then you won't get any silliness like Wilder versus AJ. It has to be 50% of the pot goes to each of the fighter, obviously excluding like, you know, manager fees and coach fees and all that shit. Yeah. But you say,
but it's not a charity, bro. It's not a charity. If you're doing all the work, it's like any job. If you're sitting there doing all the work, right, and your apprentice is basically sitting there passing you a coffee and passing you a tool now and again, it's getting a 50-50 is what you're getting. It don't work like that. You know, it don't work like that. At the end of the day, Wilder has to bring his own fan. If Wilder had a big, like Klitschko, that was 50-50, I think, because Klitschko had a big fan base in Europe. He could back the numbers.
Yeah.
But Wilder can't.
So I guess the worry then is like something like Lomachenko-Rigondeaux happens. Rigondeaux sits on his seat and gives up, and he takes 50% of the pot anyway.
Yeah, I suppose that's it. Piss or get off the pot is the way they call it. By the way, we got KIWI Box on the line. KIWI, are you there?
Yeah, man. How are you?
Good. Good to have you on, man. How are you?
Yeah, not complaining, man.
All right.
Nobody listens if I do anyway.
Well, look, listen. We're talking about paydays right now and about negotiation and all that. Let me ask you something. I mean, I know the UFC has its ups and downs, but should fighters be given bonuses in terms of the performance that they deliver?
I don't know, man.
It's a great idea.
Really, I don't really care. I just want to see the fights, to be honest.
Yeah, right. But if they're being offered a bonus, do you think some of them might step it up?
Yeah, well, I guess it could be an extra incentive to try harder instead of, you know, taking a few shots and thinking, oh, that hurts. I might be a bit more conservative. So, yeah, I guess a good little bonus would be good.
Yeah, why not? And speaking of of people wanted to change the subject a while ago. So I don't know. I was reading about fucking Oscar De La Hoya. He's getting into trouble with two hookers, or I don't know what they were. They tried to extort him, and they went to a you know, those people that if you have a sex tape with a celebrity, they'll buy it off you. And they went to see a guy, and then the guy was contacted by the FBI because, you know, they were trying to extort De La Hoya, and apparently the video has a bunch of graphic stuff with De La Hoya involving kitchen utensils. I don't even know. I'm not kidding.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't want to know what that is, but I felt like I had to bring it up.
If you had to guess what was going on there, what would you say happened?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that De La Hoya wasn't cooking. Let's just put it that way. But you know what? Wait, was that apology? I didn't hear you.
De La Hoya was literally eating her out, like on the table.
He was laying. Okay, man. Listen, this same shit happened to David Letterman. I think it was with David Letterman, where somebody.
Yeah.
What had happened exactly? I forget, but somebody had tried to extort him, right?
Yeah, it was. I think this was like in the 90s, no?
That guy, De La Hoya, man.
Yeah, some girl was trying to extort him. I don't know what it was. It was something embarrassing with him.
Yeah.
What it was, man.
Was that Stu?
I was just saying what a weirdo De La Hoya is, man. On the weirdo meter, he's up the Maloney, isn't he? I mean, this guy...
Leave Maloney.
Well, serious. If some hooker was trying to extort him, everybody knows he's a freaking weirdo anyway.
He's got. De La Hoya's the sort of guy that'll probably die for fucking masturbate watching the way like to have a fucking weirdo.
Well, what was the name? Remember that guy?
That's the sort of way De La Hoya was like, hanging himself. He's just a weirdo, man. I don't know.
Are you making a reference to David Carradine from Kung Fu?
No, Michael Hutchins. He died like that, didn't he? You know the guy from InXS. He died having a weirdo masturbate. He put a fucking rope round his neck and started masturbating, and then the stool slipped underneath him and killed him.
That's how Robin Williams died too.
Yeah, the stool fell down and killed him.
Wait, hold on. You being serious?
Yeah,
Robin Williams died like that.
Yeah, I swear down.
No, wait. Hold on.
It's like a weird fetish where like people, like dudes will like jack off while they're hanging themselves, like they're gonna die, but then like they don't die. I don't know. Sometimes they accidentally kill themselves.
He Eldol's ex-wife, weren't he? When he died, I think he dated Kylie Minogue as well. But the guy was a proper weirdo, man. And like he tried one of them fucking psycho masturbations, and the stool slipped underneath, and he hung himself, man.
That's a good way to go, man.
Oh, this is the greatest show, man. I'm telling you.
Well, listen. What's his name? That I just put it up on the screen. Michael Hutchins, who died that way. And then there was also David Carradine, who you might remember as the main villain in Kill Bill, and also from that old show Kung Fu. He died the same way. I think he died in Hong Kong, which is why some people thought that he'd been killed by the triads or something. But that was the same thing with him. They found him in a closet, hanging from a closet, like a coat. And he had his dick hard and everything. And well, I'm not sure if his dick was hard, but he was trying that autoerotic asphyxiation thing.
What's society coming to?
Well, first of all, don't knock it if you haven't tried it. First of all, that's number one. Number two,
why does pay for hooker to do it?
It's not the same thing,
just
man.
Choke you out.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, just choke you.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. But if you're alone, I guess he didn't want to pay for a hooker.
I'm from here in LA. That's a big deal. Like rich dudes will like pay chicks to like fucking tie him up and like beat the shit out of him and talk shit to him. And,
well, we had
fucking cooks.
We had a we had a panel.
Did they pay to watch their wife get fucked as well or something?
Yeah, they watch her get
I don't know.
creamed
Maybe
by...
when you're like so powerful and rich, like you just like regular shit doesn't turn you on. You just need some weird ass shit to go on. Like
exactly, that's what happens. Man. We had a panelist.
There's a lot of weirdos out there. There's a lot of weirdos out there that actually like seeing their wives getting banged by another guy. My he's a painter and decorator, and he was telling me he went to do a job around this house, right?
Let him finish.
Yeah, finish.
He's a decorator?
No,
what did you say you call
he's sitting
a decorator?
Let him finish.
Finish, man.
No, I want to hear his story. Finish.
He's sitting there doing the glossing, isn't it? He's sitting there doing the glossing, and the next minute, some guys walked in with his fucking young missus in some fucking like thongs and all these sexy gear, going, "Oh mate," he goes to my brother. He goes, "I don't mean to fucking be rude here, mate, but I was wondering if you could fuck my missus and watch." And my brother,
That's getting popular nowadays.
"Look, mate," he goes, "I'm here." Yeah, my brother was like, "I'm here to do
you
the
guys are
glossing,
boring,
mate."
aren't you?
Wait.
You guys must be so tame and boring, huh?
Wait, what did he say? What did?
Man.
Steve.
Missionary all day, every day, huh?
So what did he say? Did he say yes or did he say no?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Did he say yes? Did he accept? Did he get it on or?
Nah, my brother's like, "What the fuck? I'm here to do the paint and decorating."
Well, he was. Well, hold on. You said he wanted.
He goes, "I could have ended up in a fucking cellar or something." Doing the paint store. You know what I mean?
But Steve, that's getting really popular nowadays. Like really popular. It's really disgusting. And it's like, I feel that, but save it for the second Renaissance. But go ahead.
You want to fuck my wife? I'm here for the paint and decorating.
Wait, hold on. Stu, your brother was doing the glossing, and this guy wanted him to gloss his wife, right? On her face, directly, all over the face.
He walked in and yeah, he wanted to watch her fucking playing with his todgy while my brother was banging his missus, man.
Oh my goodness, that's happening. I really want to talk about that on the second Renaissance. Like,
yeah, we should save that for second Renaissance.
Then lizards invaded. Then it's second Renaissance.
This woman,
it's not that.
There's this woman near us, right?
And then they fucking turn into lizards, and your brother's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like the movies. They turn into insects, like that movie Species. Man, let me tell you.
You guys gotta live a little, man. Straight up. Just
all right.
Live a little.
Precise. We haven't all been to parties. We haven't all been to parties eating chocolate out of women's asses. I mean, pussies. Well, come on, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, whatever, man. Whatever's clever. Whatever the dude wanted to do. I mean, I've heard worse, basically. I don't think it's a big deal.
So, what Precise is saying is that he's down to party. That's what he's saying.
I did some pretty weird shit in my man.
No, I'm saying I would fuck someone's wife in a minute if she's hot. Why wouldn't you?
Well, because like he said,
fuck her.
No,
Jesus Christ!
Oh.
You guys! Oh my god!
And then your dick starts itching the next day.
If something bad's coming up to me, giving it all the talk like that, I'm not going to sit there and go, "Oh, by the way, I just wanted to know who your husband was." I don't want to offend him. Well, that man.
I've been there, man. I was being up.
Hold on. One at a time.
Go on, apology. You were talking first. Go on.
Can I tell you something? Some of these like guys, like, they'll just flip, go crazy, and just kill you and kill the wife and kill themselves. Have you heard about that? Triple suicide. Like, be careful out there. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, this is not word of a lie, man. I slept with a girl who was actually engaged. She was getting married 3 weeks after it. But I didn't have any worries. I didn't have any worries, man, because the guy was a fucking cop anyway. So I didn't really have any worries, man. But I was like, I just kind of. I mean, she was a pure slag. You know what I mean? Like, she was sleeping about it anyway. But it was either that or it was sitting in watching fucking TV. So I thought, fuck it, I was doing it. But it was in the back of the car for about 10 minutes. It was pretty shit. But I thought, fuck it. Trying to do, innit?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah, but she gave shit blowjobs as well, man. Probably the worst of that.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, the thing is with these women, right? When you meet women, you've got to be very, very fucking careful. You've got to connect the dots and check if these girls are fucking trouble or not. Because there's a lot of women that you'll meet that have got psycho ex-boyfriends that are stalking them and shit. And before you know it, you're in a triangle war. I mean, I met this girl, right? I met this girl, right? And listen, I started.
Everyone's been through it, dude.
Kept coming around me. She was quite
It's
tiny.
so true.
Hold on. I want to hear Stu's story.
Someone almost tried stabbing my ass over there.
Hold on, I want to hear Stu's story,
Let's
please.
hear Stu.
Yeah, well, I met this girl and started seeing her. She started coming around my and that lot. And I was starting to get to know her. I thought, I'm not sure about this one, but I'll see it out. And then I asked one night, right? And I stayed there. And in the morning, I'm sitting there eating my breakfast, and this fucking guy's come storming through the fucking back gate, innit? Comes strumming in, who's this cunt and all that lot. I'm sitting, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Fucking,
Was it War Machine?
This guy started taking this guy started taking swings at me, and the thing is, I'm not a white knight in shining armor. I told he's broken, so I'm thinking, hang on a minute, am I treading on toes here? I didn't know nothing about the situation. I'm not a white knight in shining armor just going to start knocking people out, throwing it around and that lot. And they're arguing. I thought, I want to get the fuck out of this. I went and got my shoes and that lot. Next, they're arguing in the living room.
All right.
He stood on a fuck.
All right, Stu. I just got sorry. I gotta interrupt you.
Yeah. I don't even know.
We gotta interrupt you.
Fucking badly, man.
We have.
Not now.
I don't even think he's listening. By the way, sorry to interrupt,
He
Stu.
sounds like he's kind of like chopping up just from his British accent, but then it's even crazier.
Yeah, the connection.
I got a question for Stu, man. I got a question for Stu. Seeing as you got experience, Stu, seeing as you got experience, man. Seeing as you got experience in this, why didn't you just choke him out of a scar?
That's a good question. And by the way, I don't know how people get this, but somebody sent us audio of Stu's brother and his interaction with that guy's wife.
Fuck my ass. Come on my face.
I gotta tell you something. That's.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, we missed a lot of that at the end of the story.
If it was me, I'd have anyway, mate. I'd have done it.
Well, look, listen. I think Apology brought up a good point that's what a lot of these girls do. Like Christy Mack and War Machine, they bring a guy over and they want to get caught, so that they want their boyfriend to get jealous and you know, there's people out there that are addicted to drama and emotion. We've seen them on YouTube.
It's true, bro.
They want a body on their record.
Exactly.
Can you hear me now?
It's messy.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on. Everyone's talking at the same time. Hold on. Stu wants to know if we can hear him. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I was just saying, right, and I don't know what you didn't hear, but when I was around this house, this boy came in and he started throwing his weight around.
Right.
And he stamped on her foot and pushed her over and picked up the puppy, a little dog that she had. So I've ran after this guy. And I've ended up catching him and beating the shit out of him. But the thing is, I spent one night around this girl's house, and I ended up beating a guy up. And the thing, you've got to be very careful with these women, because a lot of them have got serious baggage.
Dude, I had.
So hold on. Apology. We can't hear what you're saying because it sounds like you're. When you start speaking,
I want to say I've got a similar story, like a recent one, man. Like I was talking to a girl recently, and her ex from a year ago ended up hacking her account on Facebook, like a fucking year ago, man. And he's hacking into her Facebook. So Stu's got a point, man. Some of these blokes, man, they just don't let shit go.
Some of these girls are way worse. I'm telling you, they are way worse, and they do it on the sly, so you guys won't notice until it's too late.
Right. Yeah, the ones that take their time.
What's with the internet in the UK? Damn it! Like, is it state sponsored or something?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, fuck you.
What is going on?
Listen, Stu.
I'm in the UK. How's my internet?
Listen, I do apologize.
It's not just you, Stu. It's like
that
You
is
guys
married
got to
to
get
them.
on the plan that Cameron got, man. You guys got to get the same subscription he has. That's all I'm saying.
Can you guys hear me right? Or
Yeah,
not?
we can hear you.
I hear you fine, Apology.
Like it's like you're lacking decibels. At least on my end, it's sometimes it's like you're lacking decibels, and then it comes in and out. I can always hear you, but sometimes it sounds like a mouse. Sometimes it sounds like a bear. No offense, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing that a country like the UK has got worse internet than Ecuador.
It is embarrassing.
Especially with
Well, my parents are sleeping, so sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. I mean, listen, we're trying to make the best of what we've got. But the other problem is that since we got about 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, we got about 9 people in the chat room, and everyone, I mean, in the hangout. So sometimes there's a delay, and somebody doesn't hear that somebody else started talking, and so we end up talking.
The show's become really popular. Like when I first came on the show, when I came on the show, man, there was only like 3 or 4 people in the chat every show. The last sort of month or two, like this whole chat's just been full up.
Yeah, I remember when we only had about 2, 3 regulars. Now we got a very good lineup. I was gonna say decent. I should say very good lineup of people. I mean, just look at the stories you guys are pulling out of here. I mean, a guy, a guy kicking a dog's ass. Eating cake out of
precise eating chocolate out of a girl's ass.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whoa, pussy or pussy.
Oh yeah, and it was a girl. It was a girl, right?
No.
I swear it was chocolate. I swear it was.
You sure it was a girl?
It's better eating ass than pussy, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh, wait, whoa, I beg to differ.
Nah, man, I've eaten.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Well, I've eaten more.
Nah, me neither.
I've eaten more.
Me neither.
I've eaten more.
Wait, I wanted to go to Apology's point about what he was saying about like dangerous girls and stuff. I got a little quick story that I had no idea happened at the time, but I was in danger the whole time this was going on. I had no idea that I was named a guy that slept with a girl, which I never did. I actually would have if she would have invited me to get her boyfriend mad, right? The boyfriend at the time. So one day I'm at a party. He comes up to me and he's like, I always wanted to talk to you about something that you did that I thought was fucked up. And I said, what was that? And he was like, you slept with, I ain't gonna say I almost said the girl's name. He said, you slept with such and such, right? And I said, no, never. And he was like, well, that's what she told me. She told me that you guys slept together when we broke up briefly. Now, mind you, I never slept with this girl, never. And she was hot. I would have. I never talked to her because I always saw her with this guy. So why would you think back, why would a woman tell a man that she slept with somebody that she never slept with?
Make him jealous, man.
Never.
Because he cheated on her?
Make him jealous.
He cheated?
No. Me too.
She wanted to catch the body.
That's a good point.
Well, what if she had against me? What if she had against me? That she
just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
She needed a virgin sacrifice for the Illuminati.
Oh, man. But yeah, like Apology.
I have
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I have a similar story. Like I was supposed to go over to my friend's house to watch UFC, whatever it was, 160 or something like that. So I went over there. I show up, and he's not there, but his girlfriend is. And she's like, "Oh no, dude, have a seat. The fight is on. Whatever. He's coming. He's gonna be here any moment." I'm like, "Okay." And then we're sitting there watching the fight, and she's like, "Why are your pants still on?" And I was like, "Okay, I know where this is going." And I was just about to, maybe something. And then he like jumps out of nowhere and he's like, "Are you guys fucking?" And I was just like, "Okay, you guys are fucking weird. I'm out of here." I think it was kind of like what your brother was going through.
I think
to accept,
Do you know what, right? I've never done it. Like if because one of my ex's friends once tried it on me, I always think that these fucking girls, they want to test the fucking boys' loyalty and all that shit and morals, so they fucking set it up for friends to try it on the year and all that shit.
Cameron, they do. That's what they do to.
There's this woman that. There's this woman that lived near us. She's about 40. She's got fucking massive tits, right? And she's a right, she's a right dirty bitch, right? And she's married with kids, right? But she fucks everybody. Like she'll inbox you on Facebook and that. But the deal is, right? No, but the deal is, if she lets you fuck her, you got a video. She's got you got to let her video her sucking you off so her husband can watch it. And, yeah, my mate's been there. My mate said, yeah, she texted me. I go, don't say you did it. He goes, yeah, I did. He goes, it's a bit weird, mate. He goes, yeah, it's a bit weird. He goes, sitting there next minute, the fucking camera's out. She's sucking me off in front of the camera. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She goes, oh, my husband wants to watch it. I was like, nah, man. Like, there's girls like that, and there's guys. This guy gives her permission to go and do these things as long as he gets a video as evidence, sort of thing.
Fucking weird.
Oh god.
He's just a cock. He's not a man. He's
any
but you notice those men end up having long, successful relationships with these girls. Meanwhile, the alpha male, the guy that won't allow something like that to happen, their relationships end fast.
No, I tend
to disagree. You know why I recognize? It's because women want control. That's why. And these alpha males do it put up with this shit.
For any alpha male, any real man, right? Just the thought of someone banging your missus makes you want to fucking explode, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Look at War Machine, man. He fucking exploded. He beat Christy Mack off then.
Yeah. Now, but here's something that I want to specify, that there are people also out there, we call them cocks, who love to, when they meet a girl, they love to ask her about their past boyfriends. So they love to ask him, like, how big was he bigger than me? Did he fuck better than me? How did he fuck you? And some girl,
fuck that, man. I know. Get any girl that I'll see that, man.
That's a cuckold question anyway, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the cockles. They ask those questions because they get off on that shit.
You enjoy sucking him off? Yes. Like him coming in your face? Yes. What does it taste like?
The worst one is when you meet a girl, go around the house, and all she talks about is her ex.
Never had that.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I cut those off.
We've all done that.
Yeah, you gotta cut them off real quick because they're just trying to get you.
Once you get what you want, and then that's it. I'm out. It's like
Anyway. So I mean, fuck's sake, I don't want to talk about him. Like I want to sit there and say, oh, don't worry about it. He loves you, really. I mean, fuck that. I mean, to bang you, not fucking.
Listen, get down there.
They still love the ex, so don't go in a relationship with those types of girls.
Get him and suck your cock and get out of there. That's what I say.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. These girls, some girls, what they'll do is they'll bring up their boyfriends because they want to get a reaction out of you. Just like when they criticize your shoes or your height or whatever, they gotta criticize because they want to test you. That's essentially it.
Listen, what us guys should do, right? Next time we go around a girl's house, meet a girl, and she starts talking about a boyfriend, just play on it. Just say, yeah, I know him. Great guy, good-looking guy. I can see why you fell for him, innit? Just fucking play him, man.
I was talking to a girl recently, man, and she was trying to fucking, she was acting all interested, and she was fucking telling me that, trying to be like, probably acting real slaggy, telling me she flirts with all these guys and all that. And then and I said to her, and she was just trying to fucking, she was trying to get a reaction and all that. And I was just fucking saying, let's go ahead of it, man. More cock the better for me, you know what I mean? Make the most of your long life, take as much cock as you can.
The thing is, though, guys, when you're pulling these girls, no matter how nice they are, don't think. The thing is, a lot of guys, we've got big egos. We think that we're the special ones, that these girls have just fell for. We're the only ones. We're the only ones that they've given it up for.
You're telling me I wasn't. My wife is lying to me when she says I'm the greatest.
No, what I'm saying is, when you pull a woman, right? When you pull a woman, a tasty woman, right, and you fuck her on the first night, what makes you think that you're the special guy that she's only given it up to you? Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
There was 100 other guys that got the same before you.
Religious girls do this all the time. They say that, oh, I'm a virgin, I'm a nice girl, but then they get fucked by 20 other guys.
I don't know how to do this.
best one is, isn't it, when you're lying down to go, nothing's going to happen tonight. 10 minutes later, knickers off on the floor.
You know what I hate? Anybody ever had a friend that's with a girl and he's telling you how all the stuff that she does with him, and he knows for a fact that she never did it with nobody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing.
And I'm like, dude, man. I was talking to a fucking girl. The last few girls I've been speaking to, I spoke to a few recently. They've all been telling me, I don't put my effort in with guys anymore. I always get fucked over. I always get used. It's because you keep fucking dropping your knickers and taking cock all the time. That's
But wait, hold on a second.
The thing is, right, any proud man, right, that has a girlfriend, and you go into town with your girlfriend, and like nearly every second man that you walk past has fucked it. It's just
There's so many, man. Like I've had more success, man, with girls in relationships and ones that aren't. Like some of these girls are proper slaggy, man.
Because there's one attention, the one as many, and it's like, I can describe it. It's freedom to them. Like, I'm free. I can fuck how many guys I want, and then get all in there on. But I don't realize the guys don't want like girls who've been fucked by everyone in town.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize.
Hey, listen to this. Listen to this for wronging, yeah. This is a proper wronging. I started seeing this girl, right? Seen her for a few weeks, and after a while, she tells me that she's married, right? And obviously, I've been sleeping with this girl, and she said she's 3 months pregnant with her husband's child, and she was.
Jesus Christ!
I swear.
I had one of those.
I went crazy, bro.
Brown nipples.
I had one of those.
I was kicking her out. She was like going to me, can we just have one more just for the road and all that? Like one more
Just for the road.
I was like, get the fuck out of me! You're pregnant with a man's child.
You had a threesome essentially. You sick fuck.
Oh no,
God.
Oh man,
you're fucking wrong, BDA man. You're fucking wrong.
Hey, you know what? You know who's wrong? Hold on a second. Hold on. You know who's wrong? Cameron, didn't you say one episode that if you were a woman, for sure you'd be a slut? You said that.
Yeah. I said,
Well, women could do that and get like consequences from it. So why not?
I fucked this girl, man. I fucked this girl. The thing is, I fucked this girl. I thought she was a nice girl, and I fucked her and all that. Then I found out she had a reputation, and for 2 years straight, I was like, I don't know if I've got AIDS or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
You can't sleep at night.
Yeah. Hey, the worst one is when you have a child, right? You're not thinking, oh yeah, I'm having a child. You're thinking, fucking hell, I must have passed the HIV test. You know what I mean?
Exactly, I said that.
Single mothers, those are the worst.
The thing is, look, I fucked her, man. I fucked her, and I thought, I literally thought I had AIDS and all that sort of shit. And then she ended up getting pregnant, man. She ended up getting pregnant, having a kid with her bloke. I thought, all right, man, I'm fucking clear of that shit, man. She wouldn't be having a kid.
This is what I mean. We talked about on the second Renaissance, whatever. We talked about why men don't want to be with these chicks no more. I mean, look, half of these chicks are scutters, and let's be real.
And half of them will lie about it as well.
Oh man!
Yeah, but how do you rectify the fact that we want to fuck everything that walks, right? And has a pussy, obviously. Hold on. Let me finish. How do you rectify that urge with wanting to marry a virgin? Theoretically, I mean, it's no, but like it seems like a conflict. Like we could sit here and dog women. That's all fine and good. That's all fine and good, but
the thing is, in England, right, you've got more chance of finding the Ark of the Covenant than you have fucking.
Right, but the same goes for men. I mean,
but there's a biological.
Look, what I'm trying to say is the reason why women are sluts is because we are. Why are we pointing the finger at them?
Well, we're not pointing the finger.
You guys seem confused as fuck to me, man.
They don't trust us. That is.
They don't trust us. Fucking picking up some females.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Besides this point, like, aren't men supposed to be like that? The real life. We're meant to fuck around, but women aren't meant to do that because they're not men, essentially.
All right, your connection is you're breaking off, but essentially what he's saying is, I think that's what he's saying is that men are supposed to be that way to fuck as many women as possible, whereas women are supposed to be as selective as
possible. My theory
possible.
about men being that way is because we have to go to war and fight, and we have to be a bit frisky. And the reason the old sexual revolution come around was to get everyone a bit frisky, and maybe we get world peace, but it didn't quite work that way, did it?
Mm-hmm.
So now religion's back up on the old upturn, and everyone wants to be all religious now. And then you've got shit like this you have to deal with, and we have to sort of answer for that.
Some women. There are some good women. There are some good women out there who, you know, once they find a decent bloke, they're settled down. But it doesn't change the fact.
Get them burkas out. Get them burkas out. Let's cover the women, man. Cover them up.
The bikini stop the sunlight coming through.
The worst.
But they're all like cock, man. All these females are taking cock up the arse, in the mouth, in the fucking pussy, all the time, man. So
hold on.
Is there a World War III? There isn't, is there? So let's get those cocks up the arse and chilled out.
Cameron, I think I'm gonna have to move to your town, mate.
Sounds like a party, man.
Yeah, it sounds like a party down there, man. But just to go back to the point, also because you got, it's true. We're talking about we're talking about sluts. Let's not make it out to be that every woman out there is a fucking whore. That being said, we were talking about MGTOWs the other day over at Second Renaissance. One of the major tenets of the MGTOWs is that you have to get rid of this image of women being the pure virgins that they try to that society or that the media tries to portray. Now, on the other hand, depends on where you go, because if you go to Latin America, most women down there are more conservative. You know, they gossip a lot, like, you know, women tend to do, but they do it on an even more old school level. Meaning, what's that?
Oh, this is good at hiding their past.
Well, it's possible.
It's good at hiding the past.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. But what I'm trying to get at is that women in certain countries tend to be more open about this, and others tend to be more conservative. But and also religion plays a big part in that. If there's a strong family unit and religious center around it, or a covering.
Okay, I'm in Latin America, bro, and the number of times that I saw my neighbor's wife walk out of my other neighbor's house, whose wife is in the United States, at 6 a.m. in the morning.
I know,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is,
I've got a good play. I've got a good.
Spanish. I know. It looks like someone's gonna get shot.
Spanish girls are very.
I mean, a lot of these girls.
They're hot, but they're
fucking crazy.
Prostitution is legal here, by the way. Prostitution. You can't smoke weed or drink vodka on Jesus' birthday, but you could pay for sex.
First of all, you're not supposed to.
I remember when I was dating this girl, right? This really explains the female.
How many of you fucking dated, man? How many of you fucking dated?
I've had a few. Let's just say I've had a few.
He said that very tired.
It's a resume like Chavez Senior, isn't it?
Bunch of bums.
Bunch of bums.
Now that's the other thing. That's the other thing.
I wouldn't mind representing a bunch of bums in that aspect. I'll tell you that.
You'd like to fuck a bunch of bumps up the ass? Is that what you said?
I think Cameron needs to slow down.
I have a really close girlfriend. One of my closest girl mates. She's really open about her sex, about her sex life and all that. And she said to me the other day, "I've not fucked her," but the other day she said to me, she was just kind of being a bit fucking horny like she usually is. And she said to me that she just had a fucking delivery through. And I thought, well, I know exactly what that is. And I just thought to myself, fuck this, man. So I asked her if she wanted to fuck and all that. And she says, well, she's not round here anymore. But she's back, but she's moving back down. And I just said, I've never spoke about this to her before. And I thought, look, she's obviously horny, so I might as well take my chance and say, look, you're up for a fuck sort of thing. She said when she's fucking down in June, she's going to fucking come down and fucking do it. So I thought, fuck it, why not? You don't need the fucking toys, mate. You know what I mean? Just come down here, I'll fucking eat your ass all night.
That's right. Okay, first of all, you're obsessed.
That's a new intro right there.
Yeah, that's Cameron's new intro, man.
Say something controversial.
Timestamp that video.
Earlier when I said that. Earlier when I said that De La Hoya was in the Kelly Maloney bracket, I think Cameron is in the Kelly Maloney bracket.
Oh,
Cameron, do you actually do that, Cameron? Eat ass.
Bro, I've done this when I was with my ex, man. Every time I'd eat her pussy, I'd eat her ass. That's no lie.
Oh, you fucking dirty cunt.
Yeah, hey, hold on a second.
Which one came first, though?
Okay, Precise brings up a good question.
Hey, where's that picture? Where's that picture of Megan Fox setting her tongue on fire?
Precise. I was like Tyson Fury. I was a switch hitter.
Yes. Oh man, jeez. Hey, we got audio of Cameron eating ass.
Sounds like a big ass.
Oh man.
Cameron, you know you can get Cameron, you know you can get worms from that, right?
What you say, bro?
Cameron.
Worms from eating ass.
Fuck it, man. We're gonna die. We're gonna die one day anyway, man. So fuck it.
Cameron, you do realise you've just admitted on air, online, the Haven Patrol arse, man. I mean, it's gonna be a hectic week for you, bro.
Wait. Are we?
I don't mind that.
So wait, hold on a second.
It's fucking disgusting.
Just to clarify, so people here are saying they've, apart from Cameron, nobody else has eaten ass. Is that what I'm getting? Is that what I'm hearing here?
Man, everybody eats ass. What the fuck?
No.
Everybody tries it at least once.
Hey, nah.
Not me. Stop
Hey, mate, I'm not eating no ass, mate. I
Don't knock it until you've tried it. You can't knock it until you've tried it.
I mean, at least the butt cheeks, right? The butt cheeks.
IQ. Then that.
Hey, well, listen, I can say the same about black pudding.
Dude,
I could say the same about black pudding, bro. At the end of the day, don't knock it. But at the end of the day,
would you let a female eat your ass?
no chance, mate.
I'm against that because it sounds gay, man.
Fucking chance. Listen, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. You don't want to sit there like some cooked wing.
Faggot.
Sitting there with a leg. You're a madman. I'm the alpha male here. I'm shot. You know,
Exactly.
I'm not going to sit there with my legs open.
Do you guys do it?
Was that?
Listen, man, you need to fucking crop this conversation out and put it on a channel in a separate video, man.
Hey, here's we got.
Listen, hey, I've got a rule. Right? I don't date girls. If I'm on top of a girl, and she's bigger skin than I need to be. I'm the man of the relationship. You know, these fucking big lesbians, these skinny guys that go with these big girls, man. Fuck that, man.
Bend over boyfriends. That's what they're called. Bend over boyfriends.
How does Precise know all this terminology, man? Homo thugs. Was that?
Yeah, probably.
What was that, bro?
I was just saying, mate. Fucking out now. I was only joking, but fucking eating ass, bro. I don't get it.
Do you guys do anal as well?
Hey, this is a debate channel. We got to debate this shit.
Exactly.
There's no debate, Scott. It's disgusting.
The thing is, man, my ex.
Oh, there's a debate, all right.
I mean, one of my exes recently done it, man, because one of my exes had a real clean ass. Like, there was nothing bad about it, man. So I thought, fuck it, do it. Well, fuck it, man, I was in the moment. At the first time I did, I was like fucking horny as fuck.
No, control yourself, Cameron. There's no excuses.
Can we put up a picture of a clean asshole?
Yeah, there's.
Bro, you gotta be gay if you don't like to lick that ass, dude.
Hey, I've been in that moment. Hey, I've been in that moment many times, and not once have I thought. Not once have I thought. Hang on a minute. I've been in that moment many times. Not once have I thought. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna eat her ass out. It just hasn't crossed my mind.
All right. Now here's the question.
Some of us are like doggies, dude. We just like to stick our face up in that shit.
Now here's my
someone's got to ride that train to the UK, and I'm doing it.
Okay, who's making popcorn in the background? First of all,
hey, what the hell's that noise?
Somebody was making popcorn in the background.
Someone's got to drive that train to the UK, and I'm doing it.
All right, so here's my question. Here's my question. How, because people want to know this in the chat room, obviously. How do you transition? Because some girls don't like that shit. You gotta ease them into it. How do you transition from eating pussy to eating her ass?
The thing is, like my ex, like I don't, she didn't mind it. Like for some reason, man, she was just into it as well. We were both into it, you know what I mean? She fucking wanted it. I was fucking willing to do it. It just became a fucking reoccurrence every time he fucking got in bed. So fuck it.
Wait, she ate you as well?
No, she never ate
It's
my
simple,
ass.
BDA. It's real simple. Whiskey.
Whiskey.
BDA, I'm going to tell you.
Hey, Cameron, what about after curry night?
Oh man.
BDA, on the Great British Isles, there's an epidemic at the minute for bum sex. What people have to do is give each other the eyebrows, and all of a sudden there's fucking bum sex. Everyone's fucking canal boat household.
Cameron, please tell me that as well.
I know.
What did you say?
I know a guy. I know a guy.
Oh fuck! Thank God.
Hey, some people like to like eat feet and shit.
Apology, would you ask?
I like feet. I like feet a lot.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a time, please.
What do you say, man?
Feet.
They're talking about
I can't
feet.
hear what you're saying.
He's asking, do you like feet? Are you into feet?
No, I'm stating I like feet.
Oh, he likes feet. All right, there you go.
Is that what you asked? Is that what you asked?
No, that's not. I asked, do you do bum sex? That's what I asked.
Nah, man.
I know this chick, right? She makes a living. She goes to London, innit? And guys pay her hundreds of pounds to suck her feet. This is
It's a woman like that in Germany as well.
It's a agreeable price, that.
This is a girl, right? This fucking £8 that our parents paid for fucking lips. Like her lips are like fucking rubber dinghies, man. She's an absolute mess. But she goes to London and gets her feet out. And these fucking weirdos are paying her hundreds of dollars to suck her fucking toenails. Oh man, there's some right weird cunts out there.
Weirdos is a strong term. You know, we're just foot fetishists.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with foot fetishes around. There's nothing. That's nothing to knock. Now, if you're hanging yourself in your closet and you got your dick hard with people, yeah, that's weird. And by the way, somebody had mentioned that Robin Williams had killed himself doing that. It wasn't Robin Williams. Robin Williams wasn't doing autoerotic asphyxiation. He was just killing himself by.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
No, that's bullshit, dude. That's just a cover up from the family because they didn't want to. You don't want people to ruin his reputation, but people inside Hollywood know that that's how he died because he had like a weird thing about that.
There's a lot of truth in that because there's somebody that died near me that died from auto asphyxiation, but they covered it up.
But hold on, was it erotic? Was it autoerotic?
Yeah, proper erotic. He got a fucking belt around his neck, chained it to a radiator, and tossed himself off and died.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. We had a panelist here who no longer comes around, but he was telling us about all that weird shit that he was into, and I brought up the story of you're all familiar with Moby, right? The musician.
Did he die too? Is that why he's not on the show anymore?
No, he didn't die. No, but
talking about Lopez.
But hold on. Are you all familiar with Moby, the musician?
No.
Old fella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So older people remember him. He was into, I think, masochism. I think he was in the masochist part. And when he was living in New York, he was dating a sadomasochist. Dominatrix, in other words, and he said that she had an office with a table where she would, inflict all sorts of sexual tortures on people. But he said that there was actually a drain hole on the floor to drain all the blood that from the people.
That's too far, man.
Yeah, that was way like when there's blood on the floor. That's when you say, "All right, this is going."
I've only had blood, man. I've only had blood from getting my back scratched too fucking hard, man. That's it.
Yeah, but these guys were into cutting, and I mean I don't know what else.
Banjo string blood.
Was that?
Fuck me, man.
So yeah, some
banjo's chords gone.
No, man, I had my back scratched too hard, man. I didn't realize how fucking hard it was, and I fucking bled from that. But that's it.
I've dated one of those dominatrix chicks before.
No kidding.
Why?
She was like she was into that, like doing that for money. But when she's in her personal life, she liked to be dominated by men. That's what she loved.
That's usually how it is. That's usually how it is with these women.
So one day, I got a funny story. So one day I was with her, and I got really drunk. And she was, let's just say she was giving me a good time with her. with her wonderful mouth. And one day, I don't know what happened, but I ended up. All right, I can say this on this live stream. I had my dick too far down her throat, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize it at the time. She's gagging for air, jumping up and doing all this stuff, and so I realized, like, oh shit, I'm suffocating her or whatever. So I got
whatever. So whatever, yeah.
Like, no.
She kept going.
She's like, do it again.
The thing is, right?
Man, you guys are a bunch of cooks.
Yeah, I agree.
The funny thing,
I agree.
At least the
funny thing is, right?
Hey, don't cut it, man.
No, bro. A lot of these girls, the ones that act dirty, are actually the ones that are all talk. It's the quiet ones and the rich girls that are the dirts. I pulled this rich girl. She was a farmer's daughter, right? Attractive woman. She was boring as they fucking come. I was into boxing. She was into fucking horse riding and shit like. Just we had nothing in common, right? But she was a proper snobby, proper English little girl. Yet she was the dirtiest bitch I'd ever met in her life. Her vagina looked like a squash kebab outside Ali's Balti house. Right? It was fucking horrendous. You knew that there was 1,000 other guys there before me. But when you met this girl, you think she was sweet, innocent. You know, it just shows, mate. You can never judge a book by its cover.
That's a good
I
point.
was speaking to a girl, man. I was speaking to a girl. It brings up a good point. I was speaking to a girl June longer, and she was telling me how she's been fucking.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
She's been.
I don't know.
I was just saying. I was talking to a girl not too long ago, and she was telling me about fucking how she's been handcuffed, tied up, been whipped, and everything. I thought, nah, man. I mean, the people that talk about it are usually ones that fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, the girls that talk about, you know, lead you on all night, fucking give it the big one, and then when it comes to the fucking action, doing an Andre Durrell on you, innit?
Hey, by the way, there was this guy over here in Canada that was getting all kinky with this girl. She got that girl tied up, and then he put like a bag over her head, and then he went to the store. And when he came back, she was fucking dead, man.
No shit.
That's usually what happens, yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I mean, come on, man.
He meant to kill her.
Oh, well, by the way.
Oh, he got off. He got off, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure he did in more ways than one.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Sure he did.
But when, you know when you watch the documentary channels, right? Some of these women killers and these women are fucking savages, aren't they, man? They're fucking savages.
They'll
You can
plan
go
it
to
out
bed, right?
for like years and months, and then wait for the right time. It's just,
yeah.
You know, the
And
worst
just
thing about it is that, the worst thing about it is like they usually get away with it because they're women, and like men will look at them and be like, "Oh, poor innocent women. She didn't do nothing wrong."
The thing is, the woman plays the beaten wife card, and it works every time. You know, a man will kill his wife and be put on death row or life imprisonment. A woman will kill her husband and get about 6 years for manslaughter.
Yeah,
because
all she has to say is he used to abuse me. He's not around. He's not around to defend himself.
That's why men go midtown.
That's what
the
family's
MGTOW
for.
chat now. What's happened?
It's the MGTOW channel now. That's why men go
midtown.
That's why I'm curious.
That's why you have brothers.
People in the chat room are still talking about boxing. I don't know what you guys are doing, but you gotta keep up. You gotta keep up with the conversation.
We're talking about boxing.
I'm just bummed out. I'm just bummed out Hamed's not on. I'd love to hear some of his sexcapades.
Yeah, he sniffs cocaine out of a girl's ass, man.
Sex session.
Sorry.
Hey, should we get back on Tyson Fury or maybe Roy Jones Jr.? Well, it looks like Golovkin's gonna fight Martirosyan actually.
Nah,
you
man,
think?
I'll talk about Roy Jones and that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd rather talk about Cameron licking out arse than fucking moderation.
You think? Do you think Golovkin? Do you think Golovkin? Do you think Golovkin
What
likes
else
to?
is there? Is there another fight?
Well, I have a
We're in
question.
April. What's in April?
Joshua sounds like he's gonna fight Povetkin next. Maybe. Kind of what it sounds like.
Stu, listen, man. If you want to try it, man. I know a few fucking dirty wrongers who'll let you do it.
Listen, mate. People have said people have said the same about black pudding, and I still haven't tried it.
Thank you. I haven't tried it either. I never will. It's disgusting.
Stu, would you try black pudding or eating ass? Which one?
If I had a choice, it'd be black pudding. Of course it would, man.
Black pudding's like a sausage made out of sawdust.
Just
That's
do
what
it
it tastes
precise.
like.
Just do it precise.
It's not, it's not a great choice in life, is it? It's not the greatest choice in life.
Just do it precise and eat black pudding out of the arse.
Oh God, no.
Precise only eats Polish black pudding there.
Yeah, precise. It actually chocolate out of arse, man.
I had that actually in Spain one time. They eat the same thing. It's just called morcilla.
Morcilla. Sounds disgusting, no matter which way you spell it. But listen.
I liked it.
Hey, by the way, tonight it's Francisco Vargas against Rod Salka, man.
No, yeah.
Nobody cares.
Fucking Silka gets knocked the fuck out.
Cameron, tell me more about this arse licking. Fuck's sake, man. Do you know what I mean?
Still starting to like it, man.
He's getting to get into it.
What's the world come to?
Hey, listen, like, we're in a savage society. I mean, human beings are degenerates, most of them. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Why is everyone hating on the foot fetish anyway, man? A nice little foot in your mouth. Size 2. Delicious, man.
Delicious.
I kicked the girl out of my house because she took her trainers off, and I thought, fucking hell. Oh, mate, it fucking reeked. It smelled like Grimsby
Oh. You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta.
That's the worst, man.
Hey, mate, her fuck was that in the rain, mate. I put them outside. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, I got a funny story, dude. I just thought of that popped in my head. There's this coworker that I was cool with, dude, that he used to call in sick all the fucking time, right? And he was running out of excuses and shit. And this fool came, he missed work like when we really needed to be there, but like they were pissed that he missed work. So like he was saying that like, oh, I was at the strip club and I got fucking pink-eyed. The stripper was putting her ass on my face and like he missed work for a couple of days, saying he had pink eye from a stripper and shit. Like,
no, I've never had
pink eye. They'll buy that, man.
I've never had pink eye. I've eaten arse a lot of times.
Have you guys seen what the Japanese kids are into these days?
Oh,
they
yeah.
lick each other's eyeballs.
Yeah,
Have you seen that shit?
Yeah. That was a while ago, I think. Yeah. Getting all sorts of infections.
You ever seen
I
the way
just
they
think I made me.
I tell you what, right?
Each other?
The thing about the Asians, right? Not you know, the Chinese, Koreans, and Japanese. If it fucking moves, they'll eat it.
While it's still live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're savages, man. When it comes, I mean, fuck me. I mean, if I was an animal and I saw a Jap or a Chinese, man, I'd be fucking on my toes, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a dog in China, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got a question. You think Golovkin eats ass or?
I hope he doesn't, else I won't be a fan of him.
Golovkin's a professional, isn't he? He didn't do
I
jack
think
shit.
Canelo does.
If he does. If Golovkin eats arse.
Wilder looks like he licks ass, and as he's about to enter, as he's about to enter, he goes, "Bug squad."
Yeah.
If Golovkin eats arse, let me tell you.
How many kids Golovkin got? That's how many times he's had sex.
Thing is, though, man, if Golovkin eats arse, he's my new pound for pound number one. If Golovkin eats arse, 100%.
I'll never be a fan of him again if he does that.
Have you lost respect for me, Apology?
Yeah, I have.
I actually
would be cool, but
I actually respect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a changed man. See, this podcast has changed me tonight.
Same with Precise. I thought Precise was really cool, but second guessing myself.
Well,
It's not an everyday thing. You don't do it every day. It's just like a once in a while kind of thing.
yeah, it's like eating ice cream. It's like eating ice cream. You don't do it every day.
I haven't eaten, just to confirm, I haven't eaten ours for about a year. So.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, well, hey, Cameron, that makes it all the better, doesn't it?
Does food taste better now, or?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I dropped off.
Thank
you. In all seriousness, I've only eaten arse from one girl I've been with.
Nah, don't backtrack. Don't backtrack. Don't backtrack now. Just be proud of it. Say, hey, listen, I'm an ass eater. I'm an ass man.
I am proud of it. I'm proud. I would not take it back, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I enjoyed it.
That's what I'm saying.
I tried it. I enjoyed it. I'll do it. You know what I mean? I enjoyed doing it. It didn't taste that bad.
There you go. You gotta.
Cameron, you're like the liberal of the chat, ain't you? Like loud and proud.
But you know something?
Wave that flag, man.
That's why I probably carry.
Usually I kind of sit back and just chill out on the podcast and just kind of answer here and there. You know what I mean? But fuck it, you know what I mean?
Hey, listen.
Trying to change people's perceptions and stuff.
You just pour some champagne down there, dude, and
whoa, my poor stop.
I will say one thing.
Whipped cream.
I do this.
No, you put some whipped cream in there.
That's quite
oh god! Oh, stop.
Yeah, whipped cream, chocolate syrup, chocolate syrup.
Yeah. I do listen to the podcast quite a bit, Cameron, and I must admit you're a very educated guy when it comes to boxing. Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for you, but you know when it comes to eating ass, man, I can't back that, bro.
I can't respect you, bro.
Oh man, listen, I respect. Okay, let me say something. Let me say something. Let me say something. Let me say something. Let me say something, please. Let me say something. First of all, hold on.
Not you too,
guys, please. I'm trying to say something. Pavel.
When you're young and experimenting, anything goes.
That's right. Pavel in the chat room is saying Cameron is now the ass eater. But let me tell you something. I respect Cameron more now for being so candid. That's what I like about this. I like people being candid. Listen, you like eating ass? Fine. You like autoerotic asphyxiation? Fine. You like sounding? Fine. You like Roman showers? Fine. You like golden showers? Fine. I mean, listen, come on. I mean, it's everybody's got their...
rape?
What's that?
How about rape?
Come on.
Jeez, Luis, with that voice, you sound even creepier now, man.
That's gonna get us banned, man.
Yeah, that's too far, man.
Yeah, that is what the fuck, man.
It's like, hey, I don't like ass eating, but rape's,
This is a children's show, man.
And the voice doesn't help.
Show, man.
But hold on, the voice.
BDA lost its PG rating a long time ago.
Well, look, listen. We try our best here, trying to get a decent show. What happened here? Yeah. Well, listen. I think we can't end it on a better subject than ass eating. I think that's really the top. I think we peaked. I think we've peaked.
Oh no.
So
wow.
listen, I mean, man, I'm not looking forward to some of these comments, man. This fucking show. Say that.
Now own it. You gotta own it. You are now the ass eater. So be proud of that, man. That you're willing to go. You're hardcore, man. You're willing to dig down in the trenches and go to war.
Listen,
that's
man,
what I would do.
Listen. I'm a young man, experimenting in life. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Be on my deathbed one day and think, you know what? I wish I tried eating ass in my life.
Exactly.
You know
No one ever says that.
You'd be surprised, man. I used to work in a senior citizens home, and that's all they said most of the time. Oh, I wish I would have eaten ass. So you could be mistaken. I'll tell you that much right now.
People have dementia.
This is a true story, right? The only guy that he's eaten ass actually died of AIDS. A guy I know, and that's the only guy I ever know. So fucking, that's not a good omen. That's what I mean.
Do you know what, Stu? I'll be getting myself down my fucking GP tomorrow and making sure I got that checked out. But listen, man, if you know what I mean. But listen, I mean, fuck her. I mean, look, she was a fucking virgin before I fucking eating her ass. You know what I mean? So I hope I'm safe.
Yeah. And by the way,
sure she was a virgin.
Yeah, man. Cause she was my first fucking girl, man. She was fucking years ago when we were fucking young, man. I fucking experimented then.
Okay.
By the way, Cameron, somebody sent us a picture of your license plates from your car. Is this yours? Look at the screen in a couple of seconds, and you tell us if this is yours.
Let's have a look, man. People in the chat are calling me RC already.
Well, no shit.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah. All right, now listen.
You know what, Rob? I'm quite proud. Usually Hamid's getting fucking tortured in the chat, so for me tonight to be the main sort of topic in the chat is good.
Hey, now listen. I give a round of applause to you for admitting you're an ass man. There's a lot of things that I do that I don't want to admit to here, but I'm saving them for other shows when, you know, when the conversation gets stale, that's when I'll pull these bombs out. You gotta place them correctly.
Hey Cameron, you sound like a young man. I'm gonna tell you right now, most of the people that are gonna troll you probably done worse.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Man. Yeah, man. I don't mind getting trolled. I'm a big fan of getting trolled. You know what I mean? If people troll me, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? It gives me something to laugh about. So fucking go ahead, man. Don't knock it until you try it. That's the last few words from me.
Exactly. And by the way, have any of you?
I don't want to get worms.
Now you're not gonna get worms. Well, it depends on which girl, what the girl is like. Like if she, first of all,
man. Let me confirm, right? I'm not just gonna ask of any girl. I need to know the girl. Like if I know the girl, I know where she's going.
It's still dirty. Like, come on.
I don't give a fuck, mate. It's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Fucking
Yeah,
go
but
ahead.
the thing is, right, that thing you're licking, right? This is not ice cream.
You were licking.
This thing.
This doesn't like it's a foreign thing.
Did Stu just say ass cream?
No, he said ice cream. He said it's not ice cream. He said it's not ice cream.
It's not ice cream. It's not like, you know, at the end of the day, right? This is when this girl wants to have a dump. It comes out of that thing that you're licking.
Yeah, but Stu, come on, man. I mean, okay, hold on a second. I think people are like Cameron tried to say. He's not eating the ass of the first girl he meets. It's something he does with girls once, you know, they've done other stuff. Is that what you were saying, Cameron?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's still the same. It doesn't matter. Like,
okay.
Hey Cameron, in your defense, guys would be like, well, why would you eat a girl's ass? Well, knowing what comes out of there, but they'll admit to eating, you know, pussy and what comes out of there.
Babies, cute little babies.
Exactly. That's way
a bunch of blood and piss and shit.
That's way blood compared to shit. Which is worse?
I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
so are you like homophobic or something?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
blood compared to shit. Which is worse?
No, okay, but hold on. Let's, you know, I know we're joking around, but I know we're joking around, and we were talking about alpha males the other a couple of minutes or hour ago. If you are with a girl and you want to eat her ass, you don't say, hey, go take a dump and then I'll eat your ass. No, you tell her, go clean yourself up and then we'll get down and party. That's what you do. But you don't say, you know what I mean?
Cameron says, dude, dump in my mouth.
No, man.
Oh, man.
We went from Roy Jones to eating ass, man.
Great, man.
It was a natural progression.
I bet you Roy Jones eats ass.
This whole conversation has been half an hour period where Cameron's trying to avoid BDA and Butcher making him a new intro. Because there's an ass-eating intro in there somewhere.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Cameron, the thing is though, bro, the thing is, right, all it takes to have a lazy day where she has a shit, don't wipe it properly, and the next minute you're fucking diving head first in there. Do you know what I mean?
So what? It's a little.
Smell that shit,
so
man.
what?
I've smelled it.
It's just me and Stu, the only one on the panel that doesn't eat us. It's just me and Stu.
In the UK, apparently.
I don't do it either.
No, me too, man.
But I support it.
Sometimes you test it out and you're like, oh, no.
Wait, hold on. Stu,
I know a lot of people.
Stu, you got.
I know a lot of people who've eaten ass, man. Don't take it. I know a lot of people who have done it.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Hold on. Stu, you have children, right? Stu? You have children. You change their diapers. You handle shit. You work with shit. You breathe and live with shit. So if you tell, yeah, if
the same fucking.
Hey, hold on a second. So if you tell the girl, listen, here's something to clean yourself off.
I never thought for 1 minute to skip my
What?
Clean yourself
I
off.
know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Exactly. You clean yourself off. You know, that's what you tell the girl. She's nice and clean. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask a question. Well, let me ask a question. So,
Oh boy, that connection.
My baby's nappies, right? Baby's nappies. When I'm changing my baby, does it cost fucking lick the fuck? You know what I mean? So I don't get the end of the day.
But listen, right?
You're cutting off.
You're telling me that we all fucking, you know, we're either tits or an arse guy, right? So you're telling me that you've never looked at a fucking decent arse and thought, I wouldn't mind having that in my fucking face. Have you never thought that? Never ever thought that?
Nope.
Seriously, man, you need to live a little.
That's cool.
Never.
You know what?
Stuff ready.
But apology.
Fucking recognizes it. Again.
Apology. If you, with that voice of yours, you have that very low voice. If you would be very good at eating ass. Imagine eating a girl's ass and then going, oh, that's perfect, man. With that voice of yours.
Give me some more ass. Give me that ass. Give me that ass.
Yeah, give me that ass.
Recognises my new fucking main guy on this show, man. He fucking relates. I mean, he understands. He
recognises busy at the shop ordering some cigarettes or whatever he's doing while we're talking about eating ass.
Yeah,
Cameron,
he's trying
to. Can they hear us? Cameron, can they hear us?
Cameron, you don't know how many times I've been there, so don't worry about it, man.
There you go.
It recognizes it was the mic that was making that noise in all these shows. I think.
Hey, by the way, we have
Virgil Hunter's got the voice of an arse eater. You can imagine him as he's about to enter.
Hey, by the way, we got Cameron's song. This is gonna be his new intro song.
Oh no, I know what that is. You guys don't know what that is?
I think you should be.
You can need some ass to that.
You don't get.
No,
have
they
you
don't.
guys seen the Girls One Cup?
Yeah, they don't get the reference.
No, do you know the Girls One Cup? Yeah,
I'm expecting, right? I'm expecting an amazing fucking intro. Do you know what? That guy in the chat offered me he wants to do some fucking guitar shit for me. We can put some of my fucking references tonight with that fucking guitar background, maybe.
Hey, but epic. You know what? But hold on a second. Speaking of Rod, this guy was he had a band in the 1970s. You don't think he was eating groupies' asses? Just right off the bat. Come on, I mean, he must have been eating ass. So he would be
justified. It doesn't matter how many people do it. It's still disgusting.
Are you homosexual?
You don't understand, man. You're washing that ass. You're not eating dirty, rotten ass. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like how do porn stars do it? I'm pretty sure they clean the shit out of themselves before they shoot.
Exactly.
Most porn stars eat ass. Most porn stars eat ass.
So I'm not porn star, so no.
Well, when I used to work in the industry, they had. I mean, I saw how they did it, man. It was very clean, very hygienic, and.
Catch Nello, man. Catch Nello in the chat. I've just seen Catch Nello in the chat saying Cameron equals shit bread.
Oh man. Well, listen.
So wait, can I ask a question? When you
used to work in the industry.
Hold on. Apology wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
I don't get the homosexual reference. Like, if I don't want to eat ass, I don't get that. I don't understand that.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. You are definitely homosexual unless you're eating ass.
Oh, good.
I don't know about that, but I'm just, you know.
Nah,
you
man,
know what?
I'm messing about, man. I'm messing about. And
That's
it's pussy for me. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't advise it. I mean, I wouldn't advise it if you're not into it, obviously. You know what I mean? But sometimes you get caught in a moment, you do something that you think, you know, I'm not thinking, but then you fucking enjoy it, so you keep doing it. I mean, recognise, obviously, you know, Recognise knows what I'm on about. You know what I mean? He's been there, he relates. You know what I mean? He's my guy right there, so we can fucking talk about it and fucking enjoy it.
Like, even all homosexuals don't do that stuff like every day or every week or anything. That's something they do on a fucking special occasion themselves, dude. I'm from California, that's how I know that stuff. That's how they are, you know. They mostly just kind of like jack each other off and shit. They don't really like.
Lesbians beat each other up. Lesbians beat each other up. But like BDA
is saying, if they clean themselves and all that shit, like, you know, it's normal. It's biology.
I can't get over the fact that shit comes out of it. It doesn't matter if it's clean or not. In the middle of it, like you're eating it and then she just shits in your face. What if that happens?
What if you're like making out with a girl and she like burps and throws up?
like the way.
Do you get mad when she doesn't want to kiss you afterward because your breath smells like shit? No.
No, it's just.
That's the worst, isn't it?
All right, hold on a second.
You kiss
Hold on.
your lady when her breath smells like dick.
This is even
That's
when
true.
Girl,
That is true. Do you kiss your woman after she gives you a nice wet one?
Nope.
Yeah, man.
No.
mate,
Oh, man.
I'm not having that.
It's time to brush your teeth. Go brush your
Oh,
teeth.
I love a
and come back.
snowball.
No,
Don't you
I'm
guys
saying-
love snowballs? You guys don't do the snowball?
Ah, jeez. Okay, you know what? You know what? This fucking show. First of all, I gotta hold on. I gotta intervene. I gotta intervene. I have to intervene
Dude,
because
I was limited.
no, hold on. I have
Fuck
to
you,
intervene.
you fucking whore.
I have to intervene. We have John Gonzalez in the chat in the hangout.
Oh man.
We have to go, but
Oh,
he says he wants to defend Cameron. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a different Cameron. You know, like there's been times where it was me and my ex, and like, you know, I see her use the restroom, and sometimes she closes the door, and sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she shits, and sometimes she pees, and I'd still, you know, go after her asshole, man. No bullshit.
Please
No
get him
bullshit.
John, I reckon what happens is me recognising John to start our own channel and sort of discuss this on
Yeah, I call it the ass brigade.
All right, so
the second arsenal.
But you want to know something?
Tasmania.
That's how you prep the girls. That's how you prep them to other things.
exactly, there you go. Exactly,
Yeah,
that's a
She's
very
willing to
fucking
do that,
point.
then next
Yeah.
step.
The one thing I can say is, man, is if I get with a girl and it ends, I'm gonna say, good luck finding another bloke who eat your ass that I do. You know what I mean?
See, what happens if she has diarrhea in the middle of it? Like, I don't understand.
Why would she do that?
This is getting fucking bad.
She will let you know.
Exactly, she would let
Take
you.
a
You think
chance, man. That's what life's all about, man.
exactly?
I mean, hey, if you do that, right? If you
There's
do
actually
that,
a picture of that online. I just googled eating
Why?
ass and I looked at the images, and they're like the third picture explains everything. Answers your question right there. Apology. Do it.
These are apology.
I'll tell you what apology can do. He could put like what those things that they use to like, it's kind of like a condom, but like it's for eating out, so you don't get STDs.
Yeah.
You just put that over the ass, and he won't have to get the shit in the mouth.
Before this show, man, I know that apology actually have respect me before this show. I mean, I'm kind of lost it all. So.
All right, but so let apology respond to that. Apology, you wanted to say something?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I
said that before this show, I knew that you had a lot of respect for me. I feel like I've lost all of that in this fucking show.
Except for Stu, the whole panel, I'm like,
I'm still.
Cameron,
Hey, apology, you're libertarian, right?
Cameron, they lost respect for you. I gained respect for you. They lost respect. I gained respect for you.
Yeah, I like you a lot more, Cameron.
You respect Stu. You respect Stu. He chokes females out with fucking scarves, man.
Hey, that's a violation of the NAP's apology.
That's hot. That's hot.
Hey,
No, I like
it was
that too.
either me or
Stu, I like that more.
Listen,
I actually like doing that more, but I respect Cameron for being honest. He's got an ass fetish.
It was either me or her. It was either me or her.
Exactly. And by the way, I have to say, if you're gonna be a MGTOW, you can't say men go their own way except the asshole. No, you gotta go all the way, man. That's what you do.
MGTOWs don't eat ass, I don't think.
I've got a question. Recognise you might know the answer. Can you tell me, does X eat ass?
Say again?
Does X eat ass?
Ah, good question. Good question.
Oh, I bet you X does. That dirty motherfucker. You heard him. He's talking shit about me all through the chat, saying Recognize eats ass because he ain't shit.
I thought black dudes don't eat ass.
I think Recognize does for sure.
All right. So listen, guys.
Respect. I've got a lot of respect for Recognize after tonight.
Listen, if I ever try, I'll let you guys know.
Okay,
just remember one thing, bro. Shit happens.
Exactly. Exactly. And on that note, we have to end this. Otherwise, we're gonna get shut down. I think. I want to thank John for coming in late and defending Cameron. Cameron.
All
This should have been in the second Renaissance, man.
Ah, forget it. And by the way,
we were supposed to do it, right?
Yeah. Cameron, I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, hold on.
John and recognise I've got a lot of respect for you, man. Both you guys for defending me. Appreciate it.
All right. Apology wants to say something, I think, before we end this, right? Apology?
Yeah. All of you.
He's never coming back.
He's never coming back. Yeah.
All right. So on that note, you know, we covered a lot of subjects. Tyson Fury coming back, and a little bit of that, and mostly ass eating and what not to do and how to properly eat ass. I think that's going to be the second episode, Saturday's episode. We're going to talk about how to eat ass. So first of all, I want to thank everybody.
I just want to say, according to boxing style, I'm going to be sleeping with the fishes if I keep eating ass.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. No, you're not going to be sleeping with anybody.
I have a feeling apologies Tyson Fury himself, dude, just like trolling our fucking our chat. He kind of sounds like Tyson Fury.
I don't think so, man.
His so bad, man. His connection. I think he's going to be needing fucking. I think he's going to be calling out a fucking helpline after this podcast.
Well, look, listen. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat room. I want to thank who was here that isn't here anymore. I mean, I think KIWI was here.
He's gone.
Chris, what was the name of the other Brit that came in?
Greg.
Yeah, Greg. I want to thank Recognize the Matrix. I want to thank Precise. I want to thank Michael. I want to thank John, who came in late. I want to thank Cameron. Who else did I miss? KIWI, Greg. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, thank you all for coming in here. You guys make this show very entertaining and very fun to make. I want to thank everybody in the chat room as well. Graphic Prod, Boxing Fairy Tale, Casey Robinson, 100% X was in the chat room as well, as always, keeping it real. Shepherd of Sons, Casey Robinson, Rod T. Davies was in there as well. Boxing Fairy Tale, Lion Bar, Mark Stokes, Pavel, Chris Gonzalez, who was in there for most of the time as well. I think Shepherd of Sons, I already mentioned him. You guys know who you are. You make this show what it is.
Clarence Houston, man. You can't forget Clarence.
I can't forget. How I don't even know how I forgot. I mean, shame on me. And thank you guys for keeping it entertaining. Thank you guys for keeping it entertaining. Thanks everybody in the chat room for listening, giving us great comments. I wish I could read more of your comments on the air, but sometimes, you know, it's a very hectic panel.
Great show, man. Great show.
Oh, thank you for being candid about it. Listen, I wish more people were as open as you and Victor, who used to come here about their escapades and their taste. But anyway, not everybody can do that. I want to thank Apology too. I forgot Apology because he left, but I want to thank Apology for coming in as well, even though he's not a fan of ass eating. I can't hold that against him. I can't hold that against him.
It takes an ass eater to show up, have the balls to show up on this podcast. That's what I think it is.
Well, I think Second Renaissance, what we're going to do next episode, we're going to add ass eating in the tags, and we're going to get a bunch of ass eaters.
I'll be on it. I've transcended the world of ass eating. A lot more people be open about it now.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go, man. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to BDA or regular channel. Hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care. Thanks for listening. Good night.
Eat that ass.